Hi, and welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, and today I have a great guest, a guy that I've been on his show a couple times. We finally got to meet at Joe Fest, and it was just great in person as hanging out with him. Now, he's one half of Toy Domination when they do lives. He is not the one that has to go to bed at 9 p.m. and they start at like 9 p.m. It's really strange. So he's not the military guy that, God forbid, the bad guys ever have to fight us. They all have a curfew because he can only fight for so long. But anyway, I've wasted enough time. My next guest is a special guy, and he's one half of Toy Domination and not the one with the chipped tooth. Joe, how are you doing? You're on mute.
I'm muted like a dummy. Hey, man. That was a great intro. I'm a special guy. 3 specials.
Everyone, all right. special guest.
In
many ways.
Yeah, I'm the half of the nomination that doesn't go to bed at 9:30 p.m.
Well, it's been funny because both times that I was on the show, we talked for quite some time after.
Yeah.
And the first one's kind of weird because, like, I had never had any correspondence with you. And he's like, dude, just go. Like, just get out of here, man. Like,
Don, you can go. It's okay. Everything's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. We've become friends. We don't need you. We don't need you to as their buffer anymore.
All we needed was an hour, a couple hours talking about toys. We're good. We're good buds.
So how is your week going?
It's good. Good, pretty good week. That's a little. I mean, obviously, due to the latest start of the show, you can tell that my kids are having a harder time transitioning to a school year sleep schedule and not summertime sleep schedule. So
my daughter's not back in school yet. Not till
I know. We went back really early. They've got extra breaks now. Like they have a break in like late September, like randomly for like a week. So they went back really early. I don't know. I don't care. I don't mind it, but you know.
Yeah, this is really early.
Yeah, most kids start like this week or maybe next Monday kind of thing. But she's been in. This is her second week of full week of school already.
Well, my daughter's a senior, so I just kind of let her tell me when she's there.
Yeah, when you going back? Okay, cool.
Her mom will tell me. I'll be like, all right, well, just when she's here and I have to take you to school, I'll just set the alarm until 6 a.m. That's all I need to know. From 6 a.m. to 6:30, right? That's a skipping back and forth. But
yeah,
unfortunately, my daughter doesn't drive yet, so she's not driving to school, which means I still have to get up and take her. But
the world, you know,
it's not. We've had driving my son to school, and I talked about it when he was in high school and she was still in middle school. The school is on it's on the same property, but there was a 40-minute gap before I could drop her off.
That's painful.
Walmart is like less than a mile away. So we would go to Walmart every morning that I had her, almost every morning, and kind of do toy hunting. But we knew there was nothing there. But one day she found a Pac-Man machine, like the Walmart ones.
Yeah, the slightly miniature ones, right?
Yeah. And she started playing it, and then one day she hit 2-player. So we would play one game every single day that we went there. And then one day, like, she's in front of me, she turns the corner, and she looks at me, and she's like, "It's gone." And she will still bring it up, but I said, like, those are memories she's gonna have the rest of her life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, very enjoyable to me, and I think to her too. So
yeah.
Anyway, so you were back to taking your kids to school, and
it's the bus stop, but it's still, you gotta wake them up. You gotta drag them out of bed. You have to put clothes on them.
How old are they?
Well, Grayson's only in preschool, so like he's a pre-K. I mean, he's 4, almost 5, so he'll be 5 in October, and she's 7, almost 8, so she's in 2nd grade.
Yeah, so this is still like, even though you have to do it when they're in high school, they're self-sufficient.
Mine was already pretty much like, I just kind of go, "Hey, it's time to get up," and she's like, "Okay." you know, and she gets stressed by herself. But like then I'm like, I go into the other room and get Grayson. He's only 4, so that makes sense. He still needs a little help.
All right, so
Yeah, man.
do you mind me asking
Uh-huh.
how old you are?
I am 45.
All right, so you're still a youngin, so 5 years younger than I am.
I'll be 46 in October, so close to 46, I guess.
Listen, you're almost 50
I
now.
was 1980.
Just remember, you're almost 50.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And for me, I will be almost 50 till I hit 54.
Yeah, there you go.
Then you're almost 60.
Yeah.
Just remember that, people.
Expect.
That is how rounding up and down goes. So once you're like 53 and someone's like, how old are you? I'm almost 50. And they're like, oh, at 49? Like, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds right.
But then you hit 55 and you're like, I'm almost 60.
All right, fine. I'm 50.
All right. So
Yeah,
I usually ask about your name, like where the name comes from, but you are part of Toy Domination. So technically, you don't have anything cool. But with Toy Domination, I think we know kind of where his name came from. I remember speaking with Dom about it.
We deliberated about that for a long time. It used to be Backyard Battles, but then that was like getting mixed up with somebody that already had that name somehow. And then, but it wasn't a YouTube channel. Yeah,
Backyard Battlefield. They're actually buddies of mine.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I don't know if it was Field. I think it was just Backyard Battles.
Oh, really?
But I don't think it was a YouTube channel. So like he had anyway. It was a long convoluted thing, and he's like, "Is it weird if I put my name in the title?" I was like, "No, I don't care. You make all the videos. I'm just on the lives. You do what you want."
Well, no one really knows, to be 100% honest, because it's Toy Domination. So
oh yeah, it's hidden in the name, but it's there. Yeah.
And if you do look for Toy Domination, it doesn't always populate the same types of toys you think. And him and I had that conversation.
I made like I kind of started messing around with making like some shorter videos, and I called them Joe on Joe's, and I was just talking about G.I. Joe's. But like, you know, and I think I even grabbed the YouTube channel, but I haven't done anything with it.
I think Joe on Joe's
saying I should start it back up again, but I'm like, I'll get to it.
I feel like Joe on Joe's could also be a Toy Domination. All right, like you're not making it any better. I'm just.
I think I called it Joe on G.I. Joe's actually, but you know, I get you. I get you.
So, whereabouts did you grow up at, and what was your family life like?
Oh, I was. I mean, I've been in the Atlanta area basically most of my life. Like we're from Philly, so like my whole family's up there, and then I do have some family out in California, but like they're all from Philly. So like my dad moved us down here when I was I was like 2, and like so I barely know any of Philadelphia at all, but like other than visiting. But he worked for the airport. He was an airline mechanic. So like when Hartsfield was getting like huge, it's a big hub if you don't know anything about airline industry. But Hartsfield, Atlanta is like a huge hub for like international flights and stuff like that. So like Delta was like building up like a huge presence here in Atlanta, and he moved down to work here. So I've been here basically my whole life since then.
All right, so born in Philly, but
but like Atlanta. But I mean, almost saying I'm from Philly is almost like not true. It's just
that's just
there. I'm from Atlanta. Yeah.
So what a lot of people don't realize is that Tim Allen, everyone knows Tim the Toolman Taylor, from Michigan. He's actually born in Denver.
Oh, okay.
But he was raised here, so everything he does, he talks about Michigan. Like that's. That's his background. So there's a few people that are like that. I think Tom Selleck, I don't think he grew up here.
It's a weird thing, like, because, for instance, all my cousins we'd go up to Philly and visit, and they'd be like, well, you don't sound like you're from Atlanta, though. You don't sound like you're from the South. And I'm like, well, that's because my parents weren't. You learn to talk from your parents. So, like, I don't have an accent, per se.
Do people in Atlanta have an accent?
Yeah. I mean, you can tell. It depends on the people.
Like Atlanta, like you're Atlanta, Georgia,
but Georgia, yeah, for sure,
yeah. I mean, because you're in the South, but you get to Florida and like the whole accent goes away.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Everyone migrated from.
Yeah, that's true. I think the southern accent it's definitely thicker in like the Carolinas and that half of Georgia kind of thing, and southern Georgia, I guess.
Yeah,
but Atlanta's not really like accent heavy, but you can still tell when someone's like for instance, I don't sound like I'm from up there either, though. You know, it's just like I'm agnostic.
You don't have like
Agnostic.
you don't have an accent. You just sound
Yeah.
like someone who speaks proper English, which is
Yeah,
nice.
right. Which is why they don't think I'm from the South.
Quickly, let's ahead of the chat really quick before we started. We got Beardy McBearderson saying it's 9. He says
Am I the only
a.m.
one here?
Am I the only one here?
Sorry,
Are
Beardy.
people mad at Punk? And I said I'm sure people are mad at me.
Well, it's all
SCS you here.
my daughter's fault, not mine.
But
It's all my daughter's fault.
you're actually not lying, but
Uh,
I wasn't gonna say that. We got US Combat Dojo. We got Ed Action Figs jumping in here. We got Beardy McBearderson again. We have the Mr. Wonderful. We have Matthew Matson with his customary. You got Red Toy Galaxy, who I barely have seen here, but all of a sudden Joe shows up and here comes Red all the way back. Like, all right, it'd be nice if you were here.
Well, you know, it's the Toy Domination pull.
I get it, but hey, I've had him on the show. We've gone out to lunch here, and I see how I'm treated. And then we have Clint Jorgensen saying Waffle House on each side of the freeway is the best part of Atlanta. I'm sorry. Listen, I can get cheese eggs anywhere. I don't understand the whole Waffle House thing.
Oh, Waffle House is so good, Lawrence.
No, it is like every other breakfast place. I'm sorry. I've had it before. I like and Dustin Blair is here. So growing up, what was like? Were you an only child? Were your parents together?
No, I have
built-in play friends.
I have an older brother, and then I have a younger brother too. We're all basically 3 years apart, so we have like a very equal footing, you know, in terms of like
built-in play friends.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like when you like
my older brother grew up faster than us in quotation marks, and kind of like grew out of playing with toys and like hanging out. You know, he very quickly was like, "I'm a grown up, leave me alone, kids." And I'm like, "You're the same amount of far as my little brother," you know. But like it was fine with me because he stopped playing with his GI Joes, and I was like, "I'll take those. Thank you very much." I'm glad you just want to read comics and stuff. But yeah, me and my little brother would play with toys for a lot longer years, I think, than Tom was involved. But yeah.
And then quickly here we have Slaughter's daughter jumping in as a hey Punk. Hi Jim. Hello to everyone in the chat. And I know that I have never seen her here before. So she's gonna see if I can find it. Oh, here it is.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
I forgot our fake name for her. It's Kelsey? Was it Kelsey?
I'm guessing it's Carrie.
Carrie.
As that's what Ed said. And one of you is Zed. Oh wait, you were Jim. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
I remember that when I walked out.
Oh yeah,
I didn't think she liked
me. You had gotten caught up in that.
Well, I had to get back in there to my peoples.
We're talking about dumb shit from Joe Fest audience. Who doesn't know?
Well, if they went to Joe Fest, then we wouldn't have to explain it. No. So that's not my fault if you choose not to go to Joe Fest. If there's anyone that talks it up more than me, I don't know who it is. I don't even think Ed, the promoter, talks it up as much as I do. All right, so you have 2 built-in play friends. What's the first toys you can remember playing with? Not the first toys like you fell in love with, but like the first toy you can remember playing with.
Well, I did fall in love with them, so that counts. But
okay.
There was a lot of between me and my older brother. My little brother was not even born yet, basically. But Superpowers toys and Star Wars toys for sure.
And you
remember with Robin and some Joker action on the stairs and stuff, and like dropping them off. We had like a split level, so you come in and it goes up and goes down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we'd play on those stairs all the time. Yeah.
And you come in like the perfect time because I'm born right at the end of 75. So those first memories that I'm going to have are like Hot Wheel toys or,
Yeah,
adventure people. And those are like the
yeah.
first memories, but I don't think people really fell in love. Well, I know people have fallen in love with Hot Wheel toys. You can see them on the floor if you go in
Yeah.
the morning.
I was always, man, I always leaned more of like an action figure kind of thing. Like I like Hot Wheels and stuff. And if you couldn't put a guy into the car, I wasn't interested, kind of thing. Like it wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like you come in born in 80, like you're
Yeah.
coming in like, and again, the end of 82. So, by the time you can start remembering like G.I. Joe,
Yeah, it's like
Master
80.
Universe, this stuff is
Right.
already out.
Yes. Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so
And Kenner Star
those are the
Wars.
first things you remember playing. Those are your two, like those, like were the two
For
favorite
sure.
loves.
Like I can remember playing. So I barely had a concept of who these characters were, but it was like, Boba Fett and Han Solo and stuff. And we had a TIE fighter pilot that my brother left. We hung him over the lampshade, like with his arms, and then but his foot was too close to the the light bulb, so his foot melted. And we came back down and we're like, oh no, we forgot he was up there. And I remember, so again, very early memory was just like, we ruined our toy. Oh, what did we do? Kind of thing. But also my dad being handy, he was always fixing our GI Joes and shit. We'd break a GI Joe. I'd be like, let me take it to work. I'll bring it back.
Until you ruin something with a light. And I remember my grandmother had this really nice chair, and then she had this lamp, and had one of those long bulbs. And I had turned the chair, and I got out, and an hour later come back, and it had burnt the chair. Until you ruin something on a lamp, you don't realize how hot they get.
Yeah, those. I mean,
now we have LED lights; never have to worry about it.
LED is fine. It's an old ass light bulb from 1980. Yeah, it got really hot. Yeah, we ruined that TIE fighter pilot, melted his leg. But yeah, for the most part, we took care of our stuff too. I think I get that from my older brother. He definitely was very meticulous and took care of his stuff, and then that kind of translated to me. So I kept my collection for many, many years, and kept, I still have most of it, but.
I did the same thing. I had friends that when we played G.I. Joe, they were tossing their vamps down the stairs, and I'd be like, "That's cool." Right. I'm gonna walk by down the steps, and
I'm gonna hold it and drive it.
Yes, and hey, I love throwing yours down the steps.
Yeah, throwing yours. Right.
That's a lot of fun. Not mine though. Mm-hmm. So, Star Wars is only around for for so much time. Especially at your age. Is there a property that you just absolutely fell in love with after that, or did it stick to being superheroes?
I am a big superhero guy, like you can see still. So that would the superpowers thing never really went away, and a little bit of Secret Wars too, like those, which I love the new Marvel Legends that are redoing those. It's so fun, but I don't know. Honestly, it probably is G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Obviously I played with He-Man and other stuff, but I feel like G.I. Joe is the first one that I was like, I love the shit out of this, and I would just, every time we went to the store, I was like, can I have one of these? Can I have one of these? To my parents and annoying them.
Were you fairly spoiled? Would you say?
No, God, no. God. How much was the G.I. Joe back then? $2.99.
Okay, I don't mean spoiled in a bad way, because you can be spoiled to where hey, every time you go to a Kmart, your parents get you a G.I. Joe because they weren't expensive.
It was less frequent than that, but every once in a while, I don't know, once a month maybe you'd get a G.I. Joe or something like that. But
you still ask.
Oh God, you ask. Yeah. My mom would have to be like, "We're just going into the grocery store. We're not buying a toy. Don't ask me," kind of thing. But
Did it ever work?
No, we'd ask her anyway. And every once in a while it would work. So, it's on her. Yeah, not too frequently. I remember being spoiled on a few birthdays. I remember there was I was like, why did I get so much stuff? I got an Optimus Prime. It was that Optimus Prime that had the engine in the chest and it was version 2, I guess, or it wasn't the old Optimus Prime.
Not Ultra Magnus?
No, it wasn't Ultra Magnus. It was the Optimus Prime where you could transform him small, but his trailer became a larger body. You could slide him into the top of it.
I think that was after my time.
Bigger head that went on his truck base. It was weird. I don't remember. Do you know what I'm talking about? I forget what it was called.
I feel like I do. That would have been before.
released it actually in like Masterpiece or what, or
Was that
one of
before
those.
the Headmasters? Remember when they
Was
couldn't change,
that.
like when they couldn't transform? They gave up their
Yeah.
they gave up their ability to transform. Like that's not a
I
transformer.
remember
Then,
getting
dude.
that, and I got like Sergeant Slaughter with the Warthog, and then
Well,
like
now
a
you're just
ton
name
of
dropping. Now
and then
you don't have to name
a
drop.
ton of
His
toys.
daughter is in the.
That was specifically what I'm talking about. No, I got Slaughter with the Warthog, and then like a bunch of GI Joes, and that Transformer, and like something else. I was like, why am I getting so much stuff? This is crazy. It was a lot. Like to me, it was getting a big vehicle and getting a big Transformer was already like, whoa, I have more stuff, you know. So that was
earlier this year.
When did the Warthog come out? 86? 85?
What?
When did the Warthog come out? 87?
I don't know. I ordered the Warthog for the first time I ever had it.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, and I found one at a decent price. It had a few broken pieces, and Johnny Reno, Cage's Customs, he had sent me a Sergeant Slaughter for that one, and I was like, well, I always liked the Warthog, even though that's one of those vehicles I looked back at when you weren't playing with toys or playing with G.I. Joe, and it was like that's a cool vehicle, because a lot of the G.I. Joe vehicles, they were pretty stupid. All right. Mm-hmm. They got to be pretty stupid.
That was awesome, man. Like it was much like the Whale, but in a smaller capacity. It was like a playset also, because it was like you could fit so many guys inside of it. There was a bunch of drivers, like 3 gunner seats and a driver's seat, you know.
And everyone said it actually floats.
Did it actually float? I can't remember.
Yeah, they said it's one that actually floats, because I always say there's 2 G.I. Joe vehicles that floated. It was the APC and it's the Whale. Everyone else, it sunk pretty quickly like a fucking submarine. And I've had people like the water moccasin. What?
I feel like if you float that APC, it's just like it has too many guys in it. It's just gonna go.
No, that thing will not go under.
Really?
Wow. Dude, that thing in the Whale, those things like.
Oh, the Whale.
Like, well, yeah, but the APC is the same way. Like you have to try to sink it.
Oh, okay.
So first off, the hydrofoil literally has a hole on the bottom, so you can just watch that thing, watch the bubbles start coming up. Yeah, the water moccasin wasn't any better, because that thing just started taking water in the front. The devilfish was the same way. The shark literally went in like this.
Would have been able to float pretty well, but yeah, the shark was meant to sink, right?
Well, the shark was the
bubble thing was for Deep Six, not the shark.
Yeah.
What am I mixing it up with? That little blue sub came out later. How was it in the 90s? Might have stopped by then.
I mean, they had the raft, which once you get a couple little droplets of water in it, that thing started taking on water. All right, so what was it about G.I. Joe? You said it's kind of what you fell in love with. What was it about G.I. Joe? Because it sounds like you had Transformers, you had Master Universe.
Yeah, we had.
I know why it wasn't Star Wars.
Pretty quick. I don't remember having. Like, I remember watching She-Ra more than He-Man almost. You know what I mean? Like that was. I felt like that was on. Like He-Man kind of dropped off, and then She-Ra took up. And I feel like I watched.
She-Ra killed He-Man. Just go watch The Toys That Made Us. Every girl gets mad when you say that. They didn't kill it. I'm like, oh my god. Well, I'm just telling you, they were making like 300 million one year, 10 million the next.
Yeah, I think like Master of the Universe. Yeah, I mean, getting in more into the 90s, like Turtles was huge. Like my brothers, like even my older brother was like, I want a couple of these, kind of thing, and still bought some. I remember that being big. But yeah, I don't know what it was about. Yeah, maybe it's the cartoon mixed with the exactly what they designed it to be. Like you get to watch a 30-minute cartoon commercial for the toys, then you get to go buy the toys. Maybe that's all it was. But there's so many characters. They're smaller. They move so well. They articulate well. Like even back then, as a little kid, I was like, yeah, but look how cool he moves. People would be like, well, look at this other toy, and I'd be like, yeah, but it's not an O-ring. Like kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, that's why. When I look at the Star Wars, I'm like, there's no one's ever looked at a G.I. Joe and said, I wish it had less articulation.
Yeah.
Like I think
you'd hold it up to a Kenner Star Wars or a 5-point articulation kind of toy, and then you hold a GI Joe up, and you're like, well, which one's obviously the GI Joes are better, and maybe it was just that, like simple as like you could.
I love the Star Wars, like the Star Wars Snow Trooper is awesome, but you cannot hold his gun straight because the gun is this long. It's as long as he is. He topples over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got into Turtles also?
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Playing that Turtles.
See, Turtles were after my time, so
yeah, for
I
sure.
had no connection to them.
I don't think I mean, I'm not saying I like played with them forever, but I definitely played longer. It was basically like high school when I was kind of like, all right, fine, I'll stop playing with toys. But even then, I would be like, I still kind of like those things, and I had them like close by. And it wasn't very much longer before I met Dominic, and I was just like, oh, you have GI Joes, and I was like messing with them, kind of thing. Like a classic story of when I met Dom, I was at his house one time, and we were with other dudes. I think we were getting like ready. We're kind of like meeting there to like go to a movie or do something. And I spotted like some, like in his closet, he had like little drawers, little clear drawers with like, I guess for like fishing lures kind of thing, like a tackle box kind of. And so like I pulled it up and I was like, oh shit, GI Joes. And I like fucking love GI Joes. So I was just like, I immediately took it out and started like playing with it or like messing around with it. And he came back into the room. He's like, oh my God, no, touch that. And then I was like, it's fine, dude. I know what I'm doing. Like, and it was one of those things where like he freaked out because they're like his prized possession. He didn't want them to break. And 99% of his friends are idiots. And like, I'm like the one guy that's like, oh no, I know how to do this. You know, he's like, oh, okay, interesting, respect. You know, like that kind of like weird.
Which is funny when you see how he treats his toys.
I recognize that you're not going to break his thumb off. You know.
Well, it's funny how he plays with his toys now.
Yeah, which is the exact opposite of that.
Which
now he's a million of them. At the time, they were precious.
You know, I we'll talk about him in a little bit.
No,
but I can understand if I was his neighbor, why I would be like, as cool as it is, then you're kind of like, you know, I do want to sell my house one day. You are not helping my resale.
Yeah. We're trying to sell a house. Can you keep the tanks inside for a week or two while we show the house?
While he's dressed as an 1800s general. All right. So you went to middle school. It sounds like you are still playing with toys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, are you hiding it or are you still like open about it?
I don't know if I'm hiding it. I just played with my younger brother. I think most of my friends were kind of done. I mean, I had some friends that still play with toys and stuff. Like it wasn't like that. So I wasn't like hiding it per se. But it's not like you'd go to school and be like, hey, let's talk about toys. You know, you're just like, well, that's something I do when I go home and I'm like with my brother or my couple of friends that still play with toys. But it's not like, you know, it's not like I had toys in my backpack still and I was just like you know, that kind of level. Yeah.
Now, when you go into high school, is it like completely hidden? Now, your younger brother is only so much younger, so you can only use it. You know, the guys that are like have a kid, like a brother that's 6 years younger, they've been able to hide it. They're like, oh, that's my brother's. Wow, your brother's 2 years younger than you. Eventually, he's in high school with you. When you go to high school, have you moved over to like comic books, video games?
Day one.
You're what?
Comic books from like age 3 or 4.
Okay.
I was doing comic books, you know.
Because a lot of people will switch to comics because it's easier to hide, or they just, hey, I like reading the stories.
Right. Oh, I'm also an artist, so like I draw a lot. So like comics and drawing and art school and class like went hand in hand kind of thing. So it wasn't really like something I needed to hide per se because I was always drawing. You know, everybody knew that. So it wasn't like, you know, the toy part again. I was like, maybe I wasn't like actively buying. Also, there was no GI Joes to buy at the time, but I don't know. I kind of still bought some superhero toys. I think I bought some like. I don't know, I'm trying to think of what was coming out when I was in high school that I was still buying. I guess I would go to Kmart or Target or whatever and like still grab a toy once now and then. For sure with like the GI Joes. Like even when it was Neon, I was like, fine, I'll get this one guy. Like he's okay. You know. Like there's some okay ones in that time period.
Maybe a little bit now, but
That's
man,
still like I don't think that was still early though. That was like 93, 90. You know, when was the last year of G.I. Joe? 93?
94, I think.
94?
Yeah.
So maybe I was like buying them up until it stopped.
There's some
But
people that think that G.I. Joe is only from 82 to 94 and then classified. They've never made another G.I. Joe either before or after that. At least that's how they act. So in high school, like you're an art, like it sounds like you're in like kind of the artsy student. Do you get into specific types of music? Do you get into sports, anything like that, or are you just kind of the?
No, actually, I mean, I played a lot of soccer as a kid, and I ran really well. My brother was like setting records at his high school. I went and lived with my dad, so my parents were divorced when I was a kid. And I went and lived with my dad, and when I went down there for high school, basically. So when I went down there, I was kind of like, he's like, "Do you want to play any sports?" And I was like, "Not really." I just want to go to school and not fucking. And he's like, "All right." He didn't really care, so I didn't do any of that stuff. I kind of just leaned into art, just hanging out, and not art, video games, comic books.
When did your parents get divorced?
I was 10. So like I lived with my mom for about 4 years, and then when I was like 14 or so, I lived with my dad till through high school, like 14 to like 18, 19.
Now, were they in the same area still, or?
No, they were. My dad was So if anyone's familiar with the Atlanta area, like my mom was like up north and like north of Atlanta and like the Alpharetta kind of area, like the North Fulton, and then my dad lived down south in Peachtree City. It's in Fayette County, and it's like kind of close to the airport kind of thing, like easy for him to drive to the airport and stuff like that. So
about how far away? How far away were they?
About an hour. Like
okay, so not that far.
No, not a ton of time. No.
Okay.
But, a good chunk.
As a kid, an hour seems forever.
Yeah.
As someone who drives all day, an hour's like, all right, that's a job.
No, yeah. To me, it's nothing now. Well, I mean, part of that is because of that. Like, you're driving up to see your dad or your mom for the weekend or whatever all the time. An hour drive there, an hour drive back. You get used to longer drives pretty quick.
Clint says it must be College Park area.
College Park is like east, south Atlanta, like kind of thing. It's close to there, I guess, Peachtree City is like Peachtree, Fayetteville, Noonan. They're kind of like, I would say like 85, 75 kind of do an X through Atlanta, and 75 is kind of the College Park exits, and then 85 is kind of where Peachtree City was. So it's kind of like the other side.
All right, so
that makes sense.
You're in college, you're doing art, or I'm saying you're in high school, you're doing art. Now you meet Dom. So people may not know this. Most of us that do a YouTube show with somebody, it's someone we've met because of
the hobby. Currently,
you two have known each other since high school. What was it that brought you two together as friends?
I'm not sure. We knew like I was new there. Like, so like he lived there before me. So like before I moved down to with my dad. But I think we had a lot of the same friends. So like we did skate park stuff. Like I'm not good on a skateboard like you are probably, but I skated for a little while. Shittily skated for a little while.
If you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
because he did say he was like a punk rocker, but skateboard.
Some of the kids that he grew up with, that he was friends with, like got into skating too. And then my stepbrother lived down there and was really into skating as well. So I kind of like knew some of his friends and he's like only a year younger than me. So he was like in middle school when I was going into high school. So like, but a lot of his friends that I knew that were slightly older were my age, were like kind of my first friends in high school kind of thing. And then Dom, I just kind of met Dom through that group of people, basically, So, but he was like the weird guy that no one.
he did say that, like he kind of mentioned that, which is really weird when you look at him. He's as normal as he looks as normal as someone could.
It was all like a facade.
Oh, I believe that for sure. Yeah. All right, so you said you had a stepbrother that was a year younger. Yeah. Now this is kind of, you said he was big into skateboarding.
Yeah.
And so he had skateboarding friends.
So just skating in general. Didn't have to
Okay.
be a skate. Yeah.
And the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, at least for my job, you know, my era, your era, like that, your era is when skateboarding was kind of starting to grow again, but it still wasn't looked upon like it is now. So when I had toys out, my friends had like Star Wars stuff. Like none of my friends were looking down like, oh my God, you still have your G.I. Joes out. Like I wasn't playing with them, but I still have my G.I. Joes out. It's like we're already doing something. Like we're already socially like we're already looked down upon because we're doing something like skateboarding.
We're already the subset of high school.
Yeah, we're at the bottom of the barrel. It's not like, oh, and you collect toys. Like, yeah, look at that
like,
Star Wars
like hide it or anything. I was like, I didn't really hide it. I just didn't care. I don't know. I mean, I just never had that attitude of like, oh, I gotta hide this so I can be cool. You know, I was just like, whatever. If they either they come over to my house and they see my room and they go, oh, that's cool. You still have your G.I. Joes all over the place, or they just go like nerd, and then I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be friends with that guy. You know, kind of thing. So it's
it might be different. It might be different if your friend walks in your room, they knock on the door, your dad's like, oh, he's upstairs in his room, and you walk in and you have a Cobra and G.I. Joe battle, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
But if I had just boxes of G.I. Joes, they're gonna be like, oh, cool. Like all your old shit. Like, yeah.
All right, so you meet Dom. Now, have you guys been friends the entire time?
Yeah.
So you guys have always stayed friends.
You mean like do we like reconnect at some point? No, we've just been friends the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you go through high school, did you graduate?
Yes, I did, barely.
Okay. I only asked because I said to one person, I'm like, so you graduated from high school? And he goes, I didn't graduate. Like, motherfucker. Did you go into college or did you go right into the workforce?
No, well, actually, kind of both. Well, I took a semester off, so I wanted to do art school very adamantly, and my dad was like, "You're not gonna have a good job with that." So that being said, I was like, "Well, and also I was like, well, also I don't want to start right away. Can I just like not do it?" And so basically, I worked for a little while. Like it was a semester. It's not like it's a long time, but I started in January instead of the fall, kind of thing. But it was just a choice. I just didn't want to go back to school right away. I was like, I'm done with fucking school. Can I have a break? As opposed to like studying abroad for a summer or whatever, or traveling after high school or something like that. I just was like, I'm just going to work and, hang out for a little while and not go straight to school. Is that cool? Plus art college is like, I was just going to the Art Institute of Atlanta. It's not like it has a campus. There's nowhere to live. It's not like dorms, So I was like, it's kind of no point to like rush, I'll take 6 months off and then I'll start.
No, again, believe me, I'm not an artist at all. But I feel like if you're going to art school because you are good at art, you're looking at it like, all right, I have this skill, and I really do think it's a skill. I'm going to a school that's going to help me focus on basically how I can get a job with my skills. Not, hey, I'm going to go to college and they're going to give me English and they're going to give me history, things I'm probably never going to need to get to the degree of something that I want to do, which I may not even know what it is yet. Am I kind of correct on that?
Yeah, basically. It's weird. It was always weird to me in high school, for instance, especially because everyone's like trying to look at college and where they're going to go, why they're going to go there, and what kind of major they're going to do, and blah blah blah. And I've always known what I wanted to do. I just want to do something where I'm drawing, kind of thing. Whatever it is, I need to be drawing. And like, because people would be like leaving high school and be like, I was like, well, what are you going to do at UGA? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, how do you not know? Like, to me, that's like crazy. Like,
I had no idea what I wanted to do.
And I know, and most people don't, but like I understand that like now that I'm the rarity where I've just always known. But like to me, that was normal, and it was weird to be on the other side of that.
I don't think you're the rarity. I mean, my daughter's been telling us that she wants to be a lawyer for years now.
Okay.
Now, whether or not she's going to end up being a lawyer is a whole other.
Everybody doesn't know.
What?
I don't think everybody doesn't know. I just feel like there's a lot of people that don't know what they're doing until they.
I think there's a lot of people that are like, I want to be a teacher. I want to be. I don't know why you want to be an accountant, but like there are a lot of people that like know what they want to be,
I don't know why you want to do this, but it's a thing.
It's that's exactly. Well, I had no clue. I mean, I've had my kids. They said, "What did you want to do when you were, when you were my age?" No, I'm not now because one's 20 and still doesn't know what the hell he wants to do, and one's 17 that this is what she wants to do. But to get to there, she has to get another degree to become.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wanted to be a skateboarder, but I knew I was never going to be a pro skater. I didn't have the talent or the ability, but I had no this is what I want to do. I fell into my career. Like, it was pure luck.
Okay.
And I'm good mechanically. So like, I don't fix cars, but if I needed a job and someone was like, "Hey, I'm going to teach you, I can teach you how to rebuild engines," I can learn how to do that because I'm just good with that. Now, you want to talk about computer wise? I know enough to be dangerous. Virtual world, it is looking, you're looking at it going, "Oh my God, my head just hurts. I don't want to figure out this, where my boss can figure that shit out easily." Not my thing for sure. All right. So you end up going into some sort of art.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what you do today, correct? Something with art.
Yeah. It's like boring corporate art, but yeah. I've had like illustrative like jobs in quotations many times over throughout the years, but like for the thing that pays the bills is graphic design and logos and websites and stuff like that.
All right, so you go into so you go to school. It sounds like you're still working. Are you collecting toys at this time? Are you collecting? Are you playing? Or did you?
When I met Dom, we kind of, I don't think we didn't start playing with them again until like later high school, like 17, 18 maybe.
That's weird.
Well, like it was a different thing. It's like we weren't like doing G.I. Joes anymore. We were like, let's buy everyone else's collections and army build the shit out of this and like put like 1,000 tanks in the background and like roll dice and see who wins. It was almost like playing Risk, but like with G.I. Joes.
All right, so
like we kind of took it to like a whole other level that like no one. So we were kind of lunatics with it, and we still sort of are, which is what he does, and that's what he's filming on the YouTube channel.
All right, so
that's where all that stuff comes from. It's like we'd buy up our friends' collections in high school that were like, "Oh, you guys still like your toy," and we're like, "Yeah, you want to get rid of yours? I'll take them." We'd give our dumb friends like $60 and get like, thousands of dollars worth of G.I. Joes. And
so these games and everything that he plays with his kids and everything, that's something you guys.
That's what we started doing that like a million years ago when we were kids, essentially. Like, we started doing that a long time ago. That's way more refined and better now.
Well, yeah, but again, the idea came from there.
He's like essentially like a dungeon master, and he's playing like a game, and he like there's rules, and everyone has stats, and like
he's only the dungeon master. A little
faster and looser back then, but
he's only a dungeon master to 2 kids.
Yeah,
well, that's called being a dad.
Some of the guys like over the internet that play like he'll give them like a game and they'll like give them instructions back and kind of thing. So like he's kind of acting it out with his kids. But like there's some other dudes that they play the game with him.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize there were other people. I knew there were people watching. I watch. I'm like, he's a character. He's a character for sure. All right, so when you're going to college, you're working.
Yeah.
What else are you getting into? Are you doing anything else? What is it like trying to meet girls when you are still actively playing with toys?
No, not really there. Not really then. I don't know if we're like actively. Are we actively playing? Not really. We would kind of get together every once in a while and try to do like a game or something for like a weekend. Nothing crazy, but like it wasn't like very often in the college years. Like it was like. Also, we were kind of like he went to the military for obviously and then I just went to art school. So like there was like he went to boot camp and shit like that. So
did he go to boot camp right away, or did he go?
Yeah, like right away. Basically right away. Yeah. I mean, I think it was like it wasn't like summertime, but it was like almost the fall. I think it was.
So he's been in the military since you guys pretty much graduated, and you're the same age.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you told me like I talked to him when he was in the military, and he'd be like, "Oh, those are mortars,"
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy, but
Yeah, that was like college years there. So he got deployed to Afghanistan. Right? Yeah, Afghanistan that first time. And I think we were 20, 21 maybe at the time. And I was like, and he'd call me every once in a million years, like, but he'd have to walk up to like, he'd have a little sat phone. He'd have to walk up to the top, like a hill in his fob forward observation base for people that aren't in the military. But he'd have to walk up to he'd walk up to the top of this hill just so he could get a signal and he'd be like, "Hey man, what's up?" Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, "Oh yeah, it's cool Batman comic came out last month," or whatever the fuck we were talking about. And I was like, "Oh, how you doing? Good. All right, cool." And then like this just one time it was just like I could just hear like and he's like, "Rockets, gotta go." And he just hung up the phone. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" So I was just like, because for me it was like 3 a.m. too. So I was just like, okay. Like
when you told me that
today.
When you told me that after the last show that we did, and I'm laughing, I'm like, "Wait, really?" He's like, "You're like, oh yeah." He's just like, "Oh my god, Rockets gotta go."
He literally just said, "Rockets gotta go." You fucking asshole. No, he knew. I mean, it was like it. I think no one even got hurt in that. They would just in Afghanistan at that time, they would just kind of like lob rockets at the bit. They'd just be like, but it was just close to the base, so he was just like, I need to get off this hill and back down, where I'm supposed to be. It was less like I'm gonna die, and it was a big situation. It was more just like, okay, there's a thing happening, I gotta go. But at the time, it's just hilarious because I'm just like in Atlanta going like, what? Shit. Yeah.
Okay, so here you are in the real world. You're a young adult.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still actively buying toys and stuff? And like, do you graduate and move into the workforce, or do you just like some people, this guy, get a job and never go back?
I didn't. So I dropped out of art school, and then started working like in shitty restaurants and stuff for a very long time. And then I went back to school when I was like 26 or 27. Okay. So I didn't finish school, proper college. I didn't finish until like I was 29, I think. So I did like 2 years of school and then dropped out. And then I went back and then basically my late 20s, I was like, I need to fucking finish school. Kind of got off my ass and went back to school and finished school.
So what are you doing in the time between there?
Restaurants, and I actually I know a lot of people work in restaurants. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I was like managing like 4 restaurants. I wasn't like, it was almost like a career. Okay. But it was to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, why am I doing this? I want to draw. Like kind of thing. So I kind of just stopped and went back to school.
If you have the talent, and again, I think art is a talent. One of my old best friend, he had a great artist, and he said, when he went back to school, and this is later on in life, and then he became a teacher.
Go ahead, yeah.
He became like a fill-in, instructor. He's like, Matt will always say, like, everyone has the same ability for art. They just have to learn how to do it. And I'm like, I disagree. Like, no matter how I could get better. I could get better at drawing.
I understand what that means.
Yeah, but like my old best friend, I think I told the story a couple weeks ago. We would not let him ever be the guy keeping score when we're playing games, because we'd be like, "Hey, dude, what's the score of the game?" Mm-hmm. Like the card game or whatever, and he'd be like, "What?" And we're like, "Dude, you're keeping score." And then someone would grab the pad of paper and we're like, "Why is Yoda giving fucking Darth Vader a blowjob? Or why are these bears fucking each other?"
You're supposed to be. He's always drawing.
Yeah, so he was no longer, and I don't think this was his way not to keep score. He just was so distracted that this is what he was doing. But well, I could never draw like you, no matter how.
man. You're just like, that's gonna happen. You know.
But if you, I mean, again, if you have this talent and you're able to make a career of it, I don't blame you for not wanting to manage a restaurant or do anything else.
And it was like it wasn't like I was a server. Like I managed like 4 restaurants, had like hundreds of people that worked underneath me. I really enjoyed the job. Like I did a lot. But I mean, it was just one of those things where I was like, and it was lucrative. I made a lot of money and I spent it all on comics. But you know what I mean? Like I just it wasn't what I wanted to do. You know, it was just like, I like this, you know.
So as you're like you're collecting comics, are you collecting toys also?
Yeah, but I mean, like toys at that time weren't, I don't know. I like, again, G.I.
Look
Joe
in the early 90s, I'm sorry, late 90s, early 2000s, right?
There wasn't a lot coming out that I liked, you know? I don't know. Like Marvel Legends I guess Marvel Legends was starting to be a thing. Toy Biz Marvel Legends was around then, right? Like through the 2000s? So. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. So maybe that. I got back into, and then there was DC Universe toys. So I was getting superhero toys, I guess, throughout that time. Kind of like this kind of shelf, you know, it'd just be like Superman and the X-Men or whatever. But yeah. So I guess if I was buying toys, it was that. But I think I got into Marvel Legends late. The first go around, not the current Hasbro go around.
Yeah.
But like the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. So I went back and went back and started getting some that I really wanted, like Nightcrawler or something, like characters I really loved or whatever. I'd go back and get them on eBay or something. Because it's not like Toys R Us had, you know, stuff on the shelves or whatever. You know, like it was just that kind of stuff which just wasn't a thing anymore. Toys R Us
because we used to always, like, we still went in, because when Power of the Force came out in 95, like that was like we were back into the toys. I had been graduated for a year, which led to Spawn. It led to Star Trek. I actually did not pick up a lot of G.I. Joe.
That was huge for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't pick up a lot of G.I. Joe at all. I picked up a lot of Star Wars.
We used to go to school, like high school age. There was some decent G.I. Joe stuff coming out, but it would be like those 2-packs or like 3-packs of Vipers or like stuff like that. It was always like weird. Or there's a comic with them, and it was like General Hawk and somebody else in a 2-pack with a comic or something like that. It was before like the 25th anniversary and all that. But it was like O-rings, but like they were kind of like running all these old O-rings and stuff. So me and Dom were like buying those up because we wanted like troopers. So like a 3-pack of Vipers was like gold mine to us. We were just like, yeah, I want more of those.
Did you pick up stuff for him while he was serving? Like when he'd be overseas and stuff?
No, he's back a lot. He only went to Afghanistan for, I think he was deployed for like 6 months that first time, maybe 8 months that first time.
Okay.
He was back. By the time he was like overseas for like over a year, like deployed for more than a year or something like that, we were old, and he'd just be like, "I'll just buy it online," you know, like or whatever. Like it was, you know, we didn't really have that problem, I guess, at that point, or nothing was really pressing that I couldn't just be like, "Oh, here, it's still on the shelves when you got that," kind of thing.
All right, so in your 20s here, you're not collecting a lot of toys because there wasn't much that you liked, but you're collecting comics.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How do you explain that when you start dating, when you're talking to a girl?
That's I don't know. How do you explain that? I mean, again, it's still the same thing going back to like high school. It's explainable because I draw. So it's like it makes it like more reasonable, I suppose. But when someone comes into your home and they see like mountains of comic books, but there's also an art desk with comic book art on it, they're like, oh, all right, well, I get it. You know, so it's a little less like you have a. I used to joke with my wife, like one of the reasons I was like, oh, okay, this relationship might go somewhere is because she didn't like pick up my comic book and be like, you read comic books? Like a dead squirrel, you know, kind of thing. Like, and that was like a measurement of like, oh, okay, she might be a keeper, you know, this one or whatever. Because like, you know, but that, of course, that's inevitable. Like you're going to date people that are like, ew, gross, you're a nerd? And I'm like, yeah. And like, but I guess, you know, like when you don't present that way in public as like, I don't have a Superman shirt, you know, on or whatever, but like, I don't know, you know, that kind of thing. But like, if you don't present that way, like it is kind of like jumping into cold water when you walk into someone's home and there's like toys everywhere, you know?
again, if you date someone that is they're a collector of anything or they're a hobbyist, right? They might understand. But I've dated girls that, I'm like, well, I collect toys and like, oh, that's really cool. I'm like, no, I mean, I collect
And you're like,
toys.
no,
And they're
you
like,
don't
oh.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they walk in and they look around and they're like, oh, you collect toys. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I made that perfectly clear. You just didn't want to hear it. Because your idea was like, oh, he probably has like a shelf of toys. Yeah, I have a shelf of toys, and I have one on top of it, and one below it, and one next to it. Fucking over the damn place.
Yeah, I kind of like again, yeah. In that period of time, it was a lot of Marvel Legends and a lot of the DC Universe Classics was the line at the time. Four Horsemen guys.
Oh yeah,
and I love DC, so like I was like fully into that. I almost got every wave basically. And then the Marvel Legends, I was like, I just want to have a perfect Fantastic Four team, and I just want to have a perfect little X-Men team or whatever. I was always with Marvel Legends. I was always like, I want the team. I want get all these loose figures and make the team.
How's that going? I only wanted the one team.
I got rid of most of all of that. I do get some Marvel Legends here and there, but very few and far between. Like I have like Excalibur down here, but that's because I love Excalibur to death. But that's a little different. I get the Mezcos. I like the high end superhero toys these days.
But you know what? Even there's a lot of the Marvel Legends that are just as good as the Mezco.
Oh, Marvel Legends! They're great.
No,
yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, but what I'm saying is like it's a lot easier. You see that new Daredevil, and you're like, okay, that's $28. You don't get very much, but it's $28, and it has everything that I need for a good Daredevil or the Punisher, right? Like, there's a lot of figures that you look at. So, for me, like, I was like, well, I like the X-Men, right? So I'm gonna pick up some X-Men. I had like the whole Age of Apocalypse wave.
Oh,
and then as you wait, because I'm a G.I. Joe guy, right? As you wait and nothing comes out, you're like, oh, hey, look at this Master of the Universe. And next thing you know, you have this shelf of Master of the Universe, and shelf becomes 3 or 4. It becomes a problem. And like I said, with Marvel Legends, they're so good. No, McFarlane's made it really easy. Not
that came in. We've discussed this. I said your problem is holding onto the cardboard that they came in. We've discussed this. You're a hoarder. You need to let it go.
I take all my stuff out.
Looks really cool in the background of your videos.
I just keep everything.
I know, it's insane.
I was just talking to Ed the other day, and I was like, I was looking at my Marvel Legends box. I'm like, maybe I should just start getting rid of some of them.
Yeah,
the classified or not,
they're look cool. I get that.
You know, all the Operation Monster Force stuff is all numbered nicely. There you go. Listen, any toy makers, fucking put a number on it, and I'm gonna if I start buying it, I'm gonna keep it all and be a completionist. It's a problem.
That's a real thing. That's a good piece of advice for this.
It's a sickness. Oh, believe me, listen. I don't think Classified ever planned on having 200 plus figures as of right now. I think they were looking at 50, 70.
Yeah.
I don't think the plan was supposed to last more than 2 years.
Yeah. I don't think they were expecting G.I. Joe to be going this strong, this long. Like, even when they were doing the HasLab, like, his tank, I feel like they were just like, this is probably the only one we're going to make. Let's just do the his tank. We'll call it a day.
So funny, like when you were, I believe this was during this point, because we talked to Lenny on Sunday too, but Saturday, like when you, Ed, and
Joe Fest?
Yeah. When you, Ed, and Slaughter Daughter were outside talking.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking to Lenny, and Lenny was saying that, like, he said, he goes, we fought for everything. And he said after that hiss came out and it just blew through everything. And I asked him, I go, did you not have that Cobra Commander ready? And he said, we did not.
I guarantee they didn't.
When he told me, he said no. Because I was like, there's no way. He goes, we never thought that it would do that. And when they put that out and they're like, we have to come up with something. Like, we have to decide. He's like, that weekend I went home and I drew it up. Like, I had to draw up what we were gonna do.
Like,
And
it wasn't slapped together. Don't get me wrong, but it was very early, like art rendering kind of thing.
Slap together was when the Rain Corps, they didn't think it was gonna fund, which it didn't. They're like, we're gonna give you the Rain Corps keeper, and we're like, dude, you can't even come up with a drawing. You just threw a picture of the guy that played it.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna give you this guy. Like, we all know who that guy is. We all saw Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
But Lenny was saying that after that, Hasbro's kind of like, you guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
as long as it fits in the budget.
Doors open. Yeah. All right.
Because he said now it was just
after that. Like after it kind of went, and
Yeah. So I mentioned to him, I go, and I know you don't work there anymore. I go, is there talk about getting rid of the numbers? And he said, there is talk. He goes, but I don't know. He goes, there hasn't been talk about when we would end it, but we have discussed, like, maybe it's time to maybe hit 300 and just be done with
numbering.
Be done with it. And I mean, I'm still going to buy everything.
Why not? What? Well, yeah, so would I. But look, why end it? Just keep numbering.
I think because so many people, maybe the team looks at it.
Are they getting rid of the numbering solely for the lunatics that are like you that would put their boxes on the wall in number order? Is that all?
I don't know. I mean,
skip figures here and there. If I don't want the figure, I don't get it. But like, I also don't keep the box, so like the number almost means nothing to me. Like whether they count it or not. But like, I also love the fact that they're numbered. I don't care. It doesn't bother me when I'm missing one.
It's really nice to see how many releases they've had.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
minus the retro figures, the retro carded figures.
Yeah,
because there's those, and then there's the 2-packs and the 3-packs, and I love it, man. I'm sorry. I look at those boxes, and I'm like, awesome. I fucking love this. And people are like, dude, you need to get rid of it. Like, I've had people like mad at me. They're like, you don't need those. I'm like,
I'm definitely not
awesome.
Mad. I just like
you don't have to live with them. So what do you care?
This is when I'd say, not that I would be mad at you, but this is what I would say if you ever got to the point where you're just like, I don't have any room for toys. I'd be like, well, throw away all the cardboard and you'll have plenty more room for your toys. That's the only thing. That's the point where you need to start throwing boxes away. If you don't have shelves for your toys, then throw away the cardboard. But unless that's a problem, like, don't worry about it.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
It's borderline though.
Right? Ed said to me the other night when we were talking, he goes, What are you gonna do with all the other stuff that's coming? I was like, I don't know. That's future Lauren's problem. The problem is future Lauren's problem is coming really quickly.
I'm already like, I can fit another shelf in here, right? Yeah, like right there. And one right there. Like I'm already kind of like, I can get more.
Max Williams says, looks nervously at the wall of storage boxes.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, like I could store them anywhere. And now, as I've sold some stuff, like I repackage it in the box. Now, someone could easily say, hey, I don't even want the box. It would be cheaper but if I put it on eBay or whatever, I'm putting it up in the box like, hey. But when I sold a huge lot of Origins figures, I'm like, hey, do you want the card backs? And the guy's like, nope, you do whatever you want with them. So I literally have the mini comics. I still have all the card backs.
Dude, also
I don't take much space because I don't keep the bubble. So,
oh yeah, the kids are such a fun excuse to buy more toy lines that I wouldn't buy. Yeah, like I got most of the He-Man Origin stuff, and I just gave it to my son, even though he was like 2. He graduated from like what are those little people? What are those little toys called? Like little toys for babies, basically. And then I was like, you don't need these. Here's an action figure, like kind of thing. Like right away, I was just like, don't do that.
I still think the Origins figure. I did a video maybe 5 years ago now. God,
the Origins figures are cool. I like that.
Yeah, I did a video like Master Universe Origins is the best toy line going for adults and kids, and this is the reason why. Yeah. And it was like it's a nostalgic thing for these mostly dads, but there are some mothers. Yeah. And they work well with the kids. They only have so many points of articulation. They stand really easily, and they're durable. That's the biggest thing.
Man. Like
The durability, and I've said this about like Animal Wars of the Kingdom. I don't know if you have any AWOC figures.
I have a few. Yeah,
Okay.
I love them. I love them.
If you gave an AWOC figure to a kid, he's coming back in an hour, and it's still in one piece. You give a G.I. Joe Classified, a Marvel Legends, a Operation Monster Force, some other French company, you know, Valaverse or whatever it's called. Coming back in an hour, that figure's in 3 fucking pieces at least.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
I know they're meant for kids. They're not. But the AWOC figures are.
So they're all on the ground. Well, some of them are standing, and they're all on the ground or whatever. And like this, because like my son, we pull them down and play with them all the time. And I'm like, I don't always set them back up. I just go, all right, well, these go on the, you know. But yeah, he quickly, so quickly. Well, it's obviously my fault, but like he very quickly graduated into like, oh, I can. These guys articulate, and I can put them in vehicles and drive them around, and like, you know, he loves that stuff. And he's really big into Transformers now, so that's another sickness now because I'm like, oh, I gotta start buying Transformers all the time. But yeah, it's super fun to play with the kids. Like Classified holds up, man. Like you can beat those guys to death and then all their stuff goes right back in their pockets and their holsters, and you can be like, and he's good. You know. So
Maximilian says, I am an up-to-date Classified collection, like complete Classified. I can testify it takes up space. People see the back of my reviews when I'm talking.
I don't have
and here's what people don't see in my videos.
Yeah.
The boxes behind the boxes.
Oh, no.
Because I've kept all of them. I think there's like one that I've thrown away because it was destroyed. So there are boxes behind boxes. Now the HasLab boxes are actually on another, like they're pushed somewhere else because they're not numbered.
Yeah.
I love the numbering, and
the HasLab boxes are like beautiful though. Like
yes.
The artwork is beautiful. Like that's there. Don't get me wrong. There are packages that I open.
Yeah.
And go, this is really pretty. Like, you know, and you almost feel bad going like, and I'm done with this though. So don't get me wrong, I get it on a certain level, especially art wise. I get it on a certain level, but like after a while, it's like space wise, I'm like, well, I'd rather just throw this piece of cardboard in the recycling bin than not have space for the actual toys. That's all it comes down to.
But again, as an artist, when you use it as an artist piece,
oh yeah, for sure. And
there's the amount of people that have mentioned the back walls is kind of shocking. Like over time, like when people are like, wow, you have
wall of boxes looks fucking awesome.
And it's an obsession because I've moved it to make more shelving.
Like that. It's really cool to see. Like if I had kept them from day one, maybe I would have done something similar. But it's like,
but here's what's funny about the boxes. You know, everyone bitched about how like they're different sizes and it bothers people. Then they change the box. I'm like, you ever go to a library or a bookstore? Books aren't the same size.
Books are not the same size.
Exactly. And I love that look.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I'm someone that can be very anal about things. Obviously, I have them all numeric. I literally
know. Never noticed.
I literally. Okay, so I mentioned it. I don't know if you watched the Fatal Fluffy review that I did. I mentioned it in there. The Fatal Fluffy box does not fit. It is just too. So I'm going to have to raise it. I'm going to have to raise it just a slight bit so I can slide, because now it's like laying down, but you can't see the number. The other thing that really bothers me about my collection.
Yeah. Did you get Cadet Deming and Shipwreck as well?
I did.
Okay.
It's way better than
Fluffy. I just got Deming and Shipwreck.
Yeah, it's better than I was thinking.
I wasn't good because it's theoretically coming to my house at some point. But like I didn't get the Fluffy. Why did you get the Fluffy?
Why?
It's so silly, man. Come on.
It's cool. I actually bought a second. I bought 2.
I love that people are like, I'm gonna buy this Fatal Fluffy, but they'll be like, Cobra Law is so dumb. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
That's me. I think the Fatal Fluffy is dumb. I think Cobra Law is dumb.
Cobra Law
I've said it before.
Weird, but it's not dumb. It's awesome.
What?
It's weird. But
Cool
it's not
Burlesque, stupid. But they
How-
have found a way to make the classified versions really good.
Yeah, they did, man. They really did.
I mean, I believe that there is a reason why Boss Fight Studios wanted to hire Lenny.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Like what he's done with
Globulus is like awesome. I feel like I hope they figure out some way to like make the snake tail like curl into that big glob thing.
I haven't heard anything about that. The rumors is he is coming.
No, he's got to be.
I mean, yeah, it's like.
But is it just the snake tail, or is he going to have that big thing?
That I haven't heard, but I can only imagine. Why wouldn't you do it? Like that has to be a deluxe figure.
Pop his abdomen out and put it in the big blob thing.
Yeah, like this has to be a deluxe figure. So why not do?
It's going to be like a vehicle essentially. It's going to be like Destro the Despoiler. It's going to be huge. If they do that jellyfish thing. If they don't, then still a deluxe figure.
The Despoiler is very large.
Yeah, the spoiler is very big. My son loves that kind of stuff though, so I'm just like,
for a kid, it's great because the kid's gonna run around flying it.
Dude, his favorite thing is the trouble bubbles. Like, I glued these little hot glued so I could peel it right off. But I glued these little LEDs on there so we could do the fucking scene in the beginning of the movie where they're flying around going woo with the little spotlights on the ground. Like, because he like loves the opening scene of that movie, and so do I. So I'm like,
that's the best part.
We literally like fly around with the trouble bubbles, and we turn these little lights on and like, point the light down at the ground, kind of thing. It's great.
That's the best part of that movie. I do not like.
Oh, by far, the best part of that movie is that opening scene. It's spectacular.
Yeah,
I thought Terradrome is the best.
If Duke would have died, that would have been the best part.
That would have been cool. I don't know
great.
It needs it. It would have been cool.
I never liked Duke.
It's for me, but he has fun with him.
I never liked Duke. So, and then years later on, when I find out that the only reason why they didn't kill him was because they killed off Optimus Prime, that's when I go, I wish G.I. Joe would have been the one that killed him.
You should have stood fast and killed Duke.
Yeah.
Killing Duke would have been really cool in that movie. That would have been really awesome.
Yes.
And I kind of would have like helped introduce Falcon as like the new Duke, which is basically the point of that movie, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I still think you would have gone with. I still think you would have gone with Flint as.
No, it would have been Falcon. They would have been like, it's his little brother, dude. It would have been.
It was his half brother.
It's his little.
He only had the same mother. His mother was out there banging other guys.
It would have been Falcon, and you know it. Flint would have been like, fine. I guess I'll be number 2 still.
Cypher 63 says I think he'll be as large as Serpentor in his chariot.
That is by far the best way of just spelling that name.
Serpentor.
Serpentor.
No, I think Globulus will be huge.
Yeah, yeah. I hope the snake tail is like the length of 2 G.I. Joes, and then with an abdomen.
Oh yeah, And you know what? Like
the movie is basically the same script.
Kind
of. I mean, it's the same story beats. I don't know if it's the same script. I get what you're saying.
See, I love the Transformer movie. I do not like the G.I. Joe.
By the way, like I mentioned my son Grayson's into Transformers. Like he's specifically into that. Like he's watched that movie like 100 fucking times. So did I when I was a kid. So I get it completely. But at the same time, I love that you love this one and not all the new shit that's out.
The music is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Because it's real music.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before. Like, if anyone's watched, I'm a skateboarder, right? That is, other than my family, that is my favorite thing in life.
Yeah, Joe's and nerd stuff. Skateboarding is your identity. Is that what you're saying?
Skateboarding is. I am a skateboarder. I'm everything else after that.
Yeah.
Skateboarder, punk. But to me, the greatest extreme sports movie is Rad. All right, it kills me as a skateboarder.
Before you said that word, I was just going to say rad. I was gonna be like rad, and then I was like, if he doesn't know what rad is, I'm gonna be so mad. And then you actually said it, and that makes it so much better.
I have a rad
hat.
hat.
Crew Jones.
I have a rad hat. I have rad shirts. Dude, seriously. So, like, as a skateboarder, to say that a BMX movie is the best extreme movie of all time, and it's not even close. All right, it's not even close. Don't tell me Gleaming the Cube. Nothing. Rad is.
Rad's
look,
a great.
No, it's Gleaming the Cube isn't even not even close. Rad is awesome. The music is awesome. Is amazing.
There's a
Lori Loughlin. I mean, and Becky's in it.
There's a dance sequence. As I said, for the audience that hasn't seen Rad ever or in 45 years, there's a dance sequence where they dance to Send Me an Angel on BMX bikes in the middle of a prom or whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
Zaymont and Tomax are also in it.
Yes, Zaymont and Tomax they're in the movie.
So for me as a skateboarder, I have to take that, right? The bicycle boogie. Mm-hmm. And as a G.I. Joe guy, and like I don't even have, if someone says, what's your favorite toy? It's G.I. Joe. Like I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
I have to say it's not G.I. Joe's not the greatest cartoon movie. It is the Transformers movie.
Transformers the movie is the best.
It's not even close.
Cartoon movie ever.
Yeah, and if you tell me no, the G.I. Joe, no, it's not. You can like it more. It's not better.
My brothers rented Transformers so many times from like Blockbuster or wherever we were getting it from. That there was like a worn out spot in the tape that we like, of course, knew where it was because we watched it so many times. We would go to it'd be like you go every weekend to get like a movie with your parents or something, and we'd rent like one movie, and we'd always also rent Transformers. So basically, no matter what new movie we were watching, we were always also watching Transformers, and we wore the tape out. Like at a certain point.
I saw it in the theaters. I remember who I saw it with. I remember where we saw it. The movie theater is no longer there, but there is another movie theater. They tore it down and moved it back further. Mm-hmm. I can remember coming out of it. And what's funny is like they all talk about like kids were like in tears because Optimus Prime died. Mm-hmm. I remember we were like, oh my God, they said shit in it. Like that's what shocked me. Like they said shit. Not that Optimus Prime died
at the top of his lungs, and Spike says shit. Like those are the two big moments. Yeah, sorry. G.I. Joe is my favorite toy line, but $6 Million Man is my favorite toy. Interesting.
I can understand that. I mean,
for larger scale stuff, Brave Star was my thing. Like if it got big, I loved Brave Star.
I never had any of that.
Oh,
I remember Brave Star just barely.
I watched Brave Star and Gem like back to back or whatever. Like I think they would flip them too, so you never knew which one was coming first. You kind of had to watch, like you had to watch that hour of television to make sure you watch Brave Star.
I loved Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Yeah, that was cool.
I couldn't tell you anything about it now.
I was a big Mask guy. Did you get Mask?
I loved Mask. I had a few Mask. I thought the concept was awesome. I also feel that collectors think Mask is more popular than what it is, and that's why Hasbro isn't making Mask figures. Mm-hmm. They're letting loyal subjects kill it. And when I say kill it, I don't mean in a good way.
Yeah, they're crushing it. Yeah. I bought a few for my son just to be like, look, it's kind of like a Transformer, but there's a guy that goes in the car. You know?
Yeah, but I heard they're really bad. I heard their quality's like
it's the same quality. Oh, well, the price is too high. But the same the quality is the same as the old toy. Like it's if not a little better, you know.
Okay, so
wheelies. So.
I don't think but they weren't in it all. Like
Blur was like, I understand hating Wheelie because he's like there a lot in that middle chunk of the movie, but like Blur is non-existent. Like why? Who cares?
And
The Micro Machine voice guy.
That's what I'm saying. If you like Micro Machines and you like seeing that guy who I was always like, God, Mean Gene Okerlund is awesome doing the Micro Machine thing.
Or it was funny for, like, the bits that he did in the beginning of the movie, and then he was gone basically. Like he was barely there.
But you had Cup, Cup was cool. He was that old man. Yeah, he was that old begrudged man.
Transformer. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he's basically Sam Elliott.
Yeah. You young punk kid. I'll straighten you out yet. No, he's great.
And I love
Hot Rod. I've watched that movie a million times recently. So I'm not that insane. I am that insane because I remember every line of that movie, but also recently.
When your kid gets into something, when my kid was your kid's age, he was in preschool. And we found out that if a kid has a speech impediment, they can get free preschooling. And my ex's cousin's wife, who said, "Hey, he has a speech impediment." We were like, no, just listen. Every kid at that age has a speech impediment. It's impossible not to, but they'll give you free preschooling. So
yeah,
my son went to this preschooling. He got to know, he's a little kid and he loved Iron Man. I've never seen a kid love Iron Man, the Iron Man Mark III figure more. Like every now and then my Facebook will pop up with a memory. I have a pile of parts because I would be rebuilding it. And then when his mom and I split up, I had to get one for her house and had to have one for my house.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need to have a backup at both houses because I don't need her calling me up or him flipping out.
Broken, right?
Yeah. But he would imitate the movie. But he would also imitate the beginning of the DVD. It would spin around but he'd imitate the movie so much, right? And his teacher had never seen it. And so his mom was like, Susan was like, yeah, she goes, yeah, the teacher saw Iron Man this weekend. She was telling me, and she goes, I felt like I had seen it. He had shown me and acted out so many of the scenes. I was like, dude, I've seen this movie. Which was crazy for a 4-year-old that's like imitating this. And I guess maybe I look back and like, was 4 too young? No, it was not.
Yeah.
So I understand that one.
Oh no, yeah, I get it. I mean, again, it's not like I haven't seen it a million times myself. It's just that I have seen it so many times, but now he's watching it all the time, and I'm like, you sure you don't want to watch the newer shows? All right. I mean, he's seen Transformers 1. He's seen that new trilogy of seasons they put out on Netflix. I forget what it's called.
That was really good.
It was good, but and he likes it. Don't get me wrong, but he inevitably will just be like, "Can I just watch Transformers movie though?" I'm like, "All right. You want to watch that one again? Sure. I'll watch that one."
You're like, this is Weird Al, right?
All day long.
The Dinobots.
Yeah, that's great.
Every time they knock over the door and they smash the one guy, and he's like, knock.
Yeah.
We really got off track here.
Yeah, we got a big Transformers tangent.
Rad Transformers. That's what happened. So, all right. So, you obviously meet a woman, your wife. What was it like courting her when you clearly are a comic nerd?
Well, like I said, there was the initial reaction of like, "Oh, you have comic books everywhere? Cool. You want to watch this movie?" And I was like, well, that was it was the non-reaction to my nerdy shit that made me go, okay, I'm interested in this person. It was fine. Our initial, when we were first starting to date and stuff, she didn't give a shit. There was a hilarious beat where I was living with my buddy at the time, but I had and he had a house essentially. So I was living with him because I had just gotten back into school essentially. So I was kind of I'm very poor. Just I basically rented his upstairs from him. So I had 2 bedrooms, but it was linked by that Jack and Jane kind of bathroom situation.
Yeah.
But I just blocked one of the doors off with my art desk And then like, so to get to the living room, my living room, essentially, I went through the bathroom from my bedroom to get there, you know? But we're in this room watching a movie one time, and she was like, so you do have a lot of toys, you know? I was like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, well, I have more. This is not this is not that scary. Like, I think I had like one shelf that had like superhero toys like all over. And then there was comics in the like around and stuff.
You have more. Like,
But I was like, but the closet in that room, because I had the closet in the other, like my proper bedroom that had my clothes in it. So the closet in this room was just fucking toys and comics. It was just like stacked in the. So at one point, I was like, all right, I'm gonna open this closet, and you're gonna be a little scared. So I opened the closet. It was just like comics boxes stacked with like toys on top of it, just like boxes and boxes and boxes of toys. And she's just like, and she opened like one drawer, and it was just filled with like O-ring GI Joe figures, like a good sized drawer filled. And there was many other drawers. And she like opened one drawer and went, okay, yeah, you got a lot of toys. I was like, yeah. And you know, I think it was fine. You know, like obviously we got there.
I feel like that was not the response.
Yeah.
You have a lot of toys.
You're
Oh,
like,
I have more. Like,
I was like, oh, there's more. It would probably scare you to see the rest of them. She's like, what now? You know,
I think the answer,
initial, like burst of like, oh my god, it's way more than I thought.
I think the real answer she wanted was, oh, I have other types of
Oh,
toys.
I have other toys. No, we were handling that just fine.
All right. So you obviously get married. You have a couple kids.
Yeah.
And you said your son is 4. You said your daughter's 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this all the time. I don't believe collectors should have kids because we will obsess over them not having a. Well, okay, I think
like a full.
I don't think. Yeah, like completist collectors.
Yeah.
Should have kids. Now, do you find this as a problem?
It's only a problem in the sense that it takes away from my toy budget. No, I mean the Transformers specifically are like, fuck, man, those are expensive. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Kid wants Soundwave and he's like $110. Like I don't spend $110 on a toy unless it's like a Mezco or something. You know, like you know, I'm buying GI Joes $30 at a pop. You know, or
how many Mezcos do you have?
What's that?
How many Mezcos do you have?
Pretty good sized collection. I don't know.
Okay, so I don't want to hear. I don't spend $130 on a toy unless it's a Mezco, and then you're like, I got a pretty big.
I mean, it's years and years of collecting on that.
Do you have a hiss?
What's that?
Do you have the hiss?
The hiss tank? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Do you have the vamp?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have the
Joe, I'm like,
okay. Well, so you just lied.
No, I just mean in the sense of like, well, yeah. Oh,
for a kid.
I get it. I'm talking about a figure. Anyway, but like, you know, the Transformers are pricey, man. You know, like even like the small ones are like $30 at minimum. So I'm just like, I can't like go into the store and buying him like an Origins figure was like $15 or something, you know, or Superpowers toy from McFarlane was like $10, you know, 12.
Oh yeah.
But it was like easy to just be like, oh, here's some toys. But now that he's into Transformers, like, okay, this is a different scenario. Can't get you like a $40 Transformer every time we go to fucking Target.
So my son had he liked some of the Transformers, but it was when the movie came out. Mm-hmm. So he was big into the first Transformer movie, which I actually really liked the first Transformer movie. I thought you had a good base. What? The Michael Bay one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked the first one. Then they started like the second and the third one are like the exact same movie. Like the second one's actually awful. And I love the fact that like their timelines make no sense whatsoever. But whatever. And he had Bumblebee, you know, the Camaro, and then he had Ironhide. And I remember I got to the point where I said, I will transform this once a week. I'm not doing it. They're so frustrating.
That is the worst part about it, by the way.
Okay, so are they still very difficult?
No, some of them are fat. It just depends. It depends on the like he's got Wheeljack, for instance, and that transform like I can transform Wheeljack in 10 seconds. I can just go like, here you go, robot. Here you go, car.
Okay.
But then and most of the Constructicons are like that. Like they're pretty quick. Well, to make Devastator, that's another thing entirely. But like, the Constructicons are pretty quick. Like it just depends. Some of them are like fast, and then I've gotten some of the newer ones, like some of the ones that are on the shelves recently have been those like Hot Wheels crossovers they're doing. And he's like, oh, I like that one. It's like a roadster. He's so fucking complicated. I'm like, I need he calls them maps. I need the instructions again. He's like, do you need the map? I'm like, I need the map. Kind of thing.
You call it whatever you want. Just get it for me. All right?
Oh, whatever.
That Ironhide
yeah,
in the ass.
I have some of the MDLX, like they're non-transforming Transformers. They're just like action figures. But I really like, they're like wildly detailed and really cool. But like I'll inevitably be like, well, his Bumblebee will just leave as a car, and mine doesn't transform. So we just go, we just make the noise and like swap the figure out and be like, look, you transform real quick, So like that kind of works.
Do you have the Transformer G.I. Joe crossover?
The O-ring ones? No, I haven't gotten any of them. But I almost got Cup because he doesn't have Cup. Number one, and number two, he does have a few G.I. Joes and a few tank like O-rings. And I was like, do you want the? I think Cup's the Triple T tank.
Yes.
So I was like, maybe I'll get him that one. I was looking at Joe Fest for Transformers for him, and it was there. I almost got it, but I got him some regular Transformers instead.
So I got all three.
Oh,
all four.
I really wanted the Thunder Machine with Zartan because I was a huge Zartan fan.
That might be my least favorite.
Really? Okay.
Probably because when you see it in Thunder Tank Machine, like Thunder Tank form,
mode,
it doesn't. Things are too thick and blocky.
Okay, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. The Triple T does.
That though.
Yeah, but for me, I did a review on the Hiss. I think I did the Hiss and the All Striker. I don't think I did on the other two. And I was like, I'm never transforming these again back into car mode. Because first off, I have the original, so I don't need to. Yeah. Second off, what a pain in the ass. And I believe it was I think it was the Soundwave that I'm just like, I gave up. I'm like, fuck you. Like, this is so difficult. And the maps did not help me. All right.
The maps.
They didn't help me.
Yeah.
Maybe if they would have given me blueprints or directions instead of maps, maybe that would have helped. I don't know. That was frustrating. And I even did I tried doing like a little sequence shot with Cup, but I'm like, I'm just using the Triple T. And now Cup's already in robot mode and it'll look like he's transforming. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
They're not easy.
It takes up some of our playtime. That's the thing that's frustrating. Like if I'm playing with him, like I'd rather play and not stop every 5 seconds to transform. So I'm granted there are times when he's like, can he be a car? I'm like, oh, okay. But again, like if it's Wheeljack or somebody easy, I'm just like, yeah.
That's the whole thing. When we were kids, like Optimus Prime, you're rolling Optimus Prime. Yeah, like you make him pop up just like in the movie.
Yeah.
And like you can almost create that exact same scene because his legs come down, feet go out. He comes out, he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We work around it. Sometimes we'll just sit there and he'll be like, can we transform all of these into cars? I'm like, yeah. So we'll transform everything into car. And that's it. Like that's all we do kind of thing.
Like, I just buy your Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
We're just gonna buy some fucking Hot Wheels at Dollar General right now. All right. And
then he's got a mountain of Hot Wheels.
Okay.
He loves that.
All right. So, but do you find yourself having to complete anything that your kids get?
No, I don't. I mean, like I said, I got him a lot of Origin stuff. Like when we play our games, even if it's G.I. Joe, like inevitably we're using Castle Grayskull from Origins. Like that's kind of like the base, like kind of thing. Because it's just there. It's easy to be like, it's unfolded and now we have a base, kind of thing. We kind of do that. I don't I never felt like the need to complete his toy lines for him. unless he's like
Okay.
really into it. Like Transformers, he's really into. So I'm like, we got to get Soundwave. We got to get this guy. Like he wants this guy. He wants Hot Rod. You know, like that kind of thing. But that's really because he wants it though. Like, it wasn't me going like, oh, I really want to get him all of these characters to fill in this line. Like, you know, it's a lot. So yeah, kind of yes and no. Like, I kind of do it for him to an extent, and then if you know, and Violet just doesn't care. Like, she's bounces to different toy lines and doesn't really care.
There's
For the most
nothing like.
If we're playing G.I. Joe's, she just wants to be like, oh, can I be Lady J or can I be Scarlet? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I got it. You know, like she just wants to be the girl character. So like every time Classified makes another female character, like the Laura Croft, even though I don't really care so much about that one, I'm just like, well, I'm going to get it just so Violet will have another female character if she wants to use it. You know, kind of.
And they're giving us a good amount of female characters.
Yeah, they have.
Whether the troopers or not.
Every time they do it, I'm like, thank God. I get this is cool because it's more characters for Violet to be like, oh, I can be this character. Just so she can feel like she's part of it, not just playing with a dude.
But there's nothing like she is into that you're like, all right, I have to. Like, my daughter loves Lilo and Stitch. Now, I had to cut back and be like, I can't buy everything Lilo and Stitch anymore because there's too much shit. But when there's new Funko Pops, I order them. And I have found myself ordering. I found myself buying certain Funko Pops for Christmas, right? I'm like, oh, I see them at Target. I pick them up. And then, like, when I'm pulling everything out to do this, you know, to start wrapping, I'm like, fuck, I ordered these things 6 months ago.
Yeah,
there's more than a few Stitch ones that are like that.
She jumps around a lot. Like there's a couple of doll lines that she likes. I've gotten her like a few. For the most part, like she'll use what I buy for me. Like if I buy superhero toys and it's a girl, she'll use that toy. Like she doesn't need it herself. So like, you know, she's like, oh, we're gonna play a game where we have all these characters. Like I'll just be this toy. This is my character, or whatever. You know. So it kind of like works out. Her toys, what she likes is kind of like, you know, whatever she's into at that moment. I'm just like, all right, well, let's get a few of those. You know.
I do have to say, I think and again, a lot of this stuff is coming back from our generation. And I want to talk about woke stuff, and you can feel however you want. But you look at our generation. So, like, for a girl, you're playing G.I. Joe, right? You have Scarlet, Baroness, you know, Cover Girl, and like Lady J, figures like that, or Tila. You know, you look at these characters, and it's like, they're not damsels in distress. Wonder Woman is not a damsel in distress. Like, they are strong characters. So, like, if you are playing with your daughter, who, let's be honest, they probably don't really want to play G.I. Joe, but they want to play with dad, there's a couple cool female characters that aren't just like some weak link to the story.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she can also be Snake Eyes because it doesn't talk, so you wouldn't know.
I just, you know, like it's less that I need her to be the girl character. It's more like, not that you're saying that. It's just that, like, you know, she wants to like identify with the toy she's playing with. Yeah. And it makes it easier for her to like slip into those kind of adventure type games, you know, that are, you know, game playing sessions, I guess you would say. I don't know. It's not a game, but, you know, like playing with toys for that moment in time, like, you know.
She wants something that's going to represent her. If you go back and if you watch the story of Sunman, is it Sunman? How he got brought in the Master of the Universe. And the mother that created Sunman, it is Sunman, right?
Yeah, it's Sunman,
Yeah. Like, that story is amazing, where she's like, he wanted these He-Man figures. There was none that represent him as, as a black kid. And so she came up with this whole line in toys. And it wasn't, and I think this is what makes it great. It wasn't that it was like, I'm only going to do black characters. It was, hey, there's an Asian, here's a Mexican, like all kinds of different ones. And I love the fact, and I know, and I remember the story, and people were like, oh, look at Mattel just being woke. I'm like, just so you know, like, these characters were created a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Mattel just basically bought it and said, "Hey, we want to bring this in. Are you cool with
Yeah,
that?"
why not bring that in?
Yeah.
It's funny, like on that note, like we watched the new He-Man, the Master of the Universe movie, and I had already been getting, like I told you, he has the origins. We have like tons of the He-Man toys. Like I have a lot of Masterverse toys and stuff like that, like randomly, here and there. But like, when we play with toys, we kind of include everything. Like we're not like playing G.I. Joe per se. Like He-Man could be there too, but I also have like a little crew of G.I. Joe that I'm like, oh, they're gonna go over here and do this thing and blow something up or whatever. But like, it's that kind of game where we're just kind of like mashing everything together. And so we've done this many, many times, but they'd never seen He-Man at all. They'd never seen Masters. They have no reference to this at all. So like after the movie, they're like, oh shit, that's fucking He-Man. I'm like, oh fuck, we play with those toys. Like they were like, oh, that's Castle Grayskull. They were like kind of freaking out. It was really funny. And then so like after the movie, they're like, they called him Duncan, but Man at Arms. But they were like, where's Duncan? Because they call him Duncan 99% of the time in that movie. So like they were like, where's Duncan?
Yeah,
I was like, I have a few Duncans. Like here's one and here's another one. And they're like, why is he white? They didn't say like why is he white, but they're like, why isn't he black, or why isn't he brown skinned? That's what they said. But like, and I was just like, oh, I don't have like the movie toy. Like I don't have the character from that movie. This is how he looked when I was a kid, and this is how they normally make him look in most stuff. But I was like, but in the movie, a black actor played that character, so like I just don't have that version of that toy. And they're like, okay, weird. But like it was kind of funny, like watching their brains like wrap around that. They're like, okay.
Have they watched the Avenger movies?
No, they haven't.
Okay.
I've kind of.
That's going to be another big
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's if you get to the Avengers, that's going to be another big talk, and they're going to be like, so Samuel Jackson, but he looks nothing like David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. They'll remember the David Hasselhoff.
I remember David Hasselhoff.
Sure.
So, all right. So that's kind of how your kids are now.
Yeah.
What is it that you're collecting today? Is there anything specific that you're into?
Aside from classified, I love what Jada's been doing. I buy all those Street Fighter toys. They're so fun. I have so much fun with those. And then what else? I mean, I'm excited for the Invincible line. I pre-ordered them. I don't have them.
I'm done with Street Fighter. Once the last two come out.
Yeah.
And
I want a few of the alphas. I want the Chun-Li with the pants. And I want Sakura.
See, I didn't grow up playing.
I want some of them. I don't need another Ryu and Ken though.
Yeah, I didn't grow up playing.
Yeah.
Street Fighter. My friends did, and I hated it because they wanted to play Street Fighter when we should have been skateboarding, and I wanted to go, and that's what I would do. But I knew enough of it, and when they came out, I picked one up, and I was like, "Motherfucker, I'm in." So I will have all of them. I stopped trying to get all the player 2s and player 3s or whatever.
I don't do that at all. I get like,
I have some.
I have M Bison. My M Bison's the player 2 one though, like the SDCC exclusive or whatever they did a couple years ago with the teal, the red, and I love that one. And I never even got the normal one because I was just like, this is fine. Like I don't need to fill every hole.
So the normal one,
the red with the silver pads.
Yes. So he got turned into C Bison.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me grab him for 1 second. Since you clearly don't know this, he got turned into C Bison, and I really didn't want to buy a second one to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when the player 2 came out, I'm like, this is perfect. So C Bison is Chester Cheetah Bison. And it is the greatest kit bashing custom ever.
Spectacular.
It fits perfect. His hands fit in. Sure. And the problem is the glow in the dark Chester Cheetah sucks. It barely glows.
Oh.
So he became C Bison for Chester.
That's great.
And then I got the Player 2, which I was happy that they announced it because I was like, now I don't have to buy the exact same one. At least I can have two.
Yeah.
And then I could decide which one I wanted as, to have the body.
Like,
but
I held off on Ken, and then I got the Vengeful Ken or
I have that one. The
I
evil.
love that one. The evil Ken.
Yeah.
I love the paler hair. The paler blonde hair is. I know it's a subtle change, but like to me, then I'm like, I fucking love that. And then just like I love that movie too from back in the day.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
What's that?
With Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No, the anime, the Street Fighter anime.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh my! It's when Ken goes crazy and becomes evil. It's like it's in that.
Like
movie.
I said, I didn't grow up on it. I do remember parts of the movie when Jean-Claude Van Damme says, "Now who wants to go home and who wants to go with me?" That's all I remember.
And Bison is small, like dude, like Raul Julia, and now what's his name, David Desmalkian is going to do M. Bison in this new movie, and I'm like, I want M. Bison to be like a towering, crazy, strong dude, and like
have you ever heard the story about
the Mike Tyson stuff?
No, about the guy that played Bison, Raul Julia. He knew that he was dying.
Yes, yeah.
And he's like, I need to finish this. And like this was like my kids will always have this.
He knew like his kids wanted him to play that character or something along those lines. And he was very adamant to like get it filmed and finished before he died.
Yeah. And it had to be that piece of shit.
What a way to go out. Orson Welles' last role? Unicron from Transformers the movie.
Which he didn't even finish it. He didn't even finish it. Spock had to finish it for him.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did Leonard Nimoy finish that for him?
Yeah. So Leonard Nimoy does a lot of the voicing. He does a lot of the voicing of Unicron. Different parts of it because Orson Welles' voice wasn't able to like hold up or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy is so good in that. Galvatron's voice, so good.
See, one of my biggest issues with the Transformer movie is that Galvatron is so awesome.
Yeah.
But so is Megatron. Now, you can get away with Rodimus Prime and Optimus Prime because they're not the same person.
Yeah.
But Galvatron and Megatron are the same person. You're like, I like them both.
I know. I do too. They're awesome. Anyway, Jade is making great stuff. I got like, man, I love Mega Man, but specifically weirdly Mega Man 2. So they've been making a lot of Mega Man 1 stuff, and they just started to make Mega Man 2 stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get all of those. But I'm weirdly like, but again, Jaded Toys is just, I think they're just on fire right now. I'm just love everything they make.
I have no Mega Man stuff.
I only have.
I have no connection, but I thought they looked so awesome.
They're so fun, dude. And also, my kids are like weird little cute characters that fight each other with bombs and stuff. I'm into it. I'm like, here you go. Like kind of. It's a fun toy line for me for nostalgia, but it's also just like, here you go, play with this. It's not really like it's just gonna sit on my shelf otherwise. But
that Invincible line. I don't need another line to start.
I know I don't.
I keep looking at it. I'm like, Jada doesn't drop like, here's 5 figures and here's 2 deluxe figures and here's a vehicle. Like it's gonna be like a wave of 3.
Yeah.
I could probably justify it.
Yeah.
I'm actually probably gonna be getting rid of some of my other stuff that I'm starting to look at. Like I don't really collect it. It's time to just kind of send it off to somebody else that will enjoy it.
Like I said, I have some like He-Man Masterverse stuff, but I was really loving those new Eternia versions of the characters, like the ones that were like, this is what they should have been like, or whatever, or like like this is the art concept of that figure, and like those new Eternia ones that they were starting to make like kind of right before the movie came out were pretty awesome, and I really liked those versions of those characters, and I got like quite a few of them, but then that kind of stopped, and then the movie was coming out, and they're shifting down to like slightly smaller, to like 6.
But not completely.
Yeah, it's not. It's so weird. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not saying like, oh, I only care so much, so I'm not gonna like keep getting a ton of those. But like, but yeah, that's something I off and on will be like, randomly I'll grab a He-Man character or something. Like
Mattel's great because they're like, All right, we're done with Origins, but not completely because we're gonna have them. We're gonna have them on Mattel Creations.
Yeah.
But we're also going to do this cartoon collection, which is Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then they have their Masterverse, and they're like, okay, we're done with Masterverse. We're going to Chronicles, but don't worry because we're still going to be making some Masterverse figures. And you're like, all right, so you're not done with it. And then the new movie figures that were the smaller ones, I thought that those were the replacement for the Origins. And then I'm at Target one day and I look, I'm like, wait a minute, they have Origin movie figures.
Yeah, they do.
So there's at least 4 He-Man lines right now.
Yeah.
And I know there's still little figures, but I don't count those. So there's 4 He-Man lines going right now.
Yeah.
All from Mattel.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you have Mondo that does theirs.
Man, those Mondo ones, those look so good. I'm not like a 2000X guy, and I know they're designed off that cartoon, and I have zero knowledge of that or nostalgia for it in any way. But those toys look so fucking good, and I'm like,
Mondo does a great job.
They're so expensive, but they're so cool, and I haven't like done it yet, so I'm trying to hold
I
on.
was like, I said like, hey, if you're like, I just need one definitive He-Man line, I might go to that because you know it's not gonna be that many, but you're gonna spend a lot. But then people are like, what if Mondo goes under like Funko? And you're like, Funko's not going out of business.
Yeah.
They're just throwing millions of dollars into landfills. Instead of giving it away.
Let them do it.
So you don't really do Marvel Legends. You
no,
should kind of nitpick.
I do, yeah. More often than in recent times, and I don't know, the last 10 years. Like I'll kind of get a few more than I normally would. But
so you brought up DC though.
Yeah, I'm worried about this line.
Okay, so I talked to Sam from Skeletron, and we got on the whole DC thing and what Mattel's doing, and if if you're excited for it.
I was talking to you guys for like a brief period. When you started talking about that, I was like, I want to hear all of this conversation, but then I went outside. But what did you guys say? What did he say?
He said he's like super excited. He's like, I'm like, yeah, because he's like, I like the McFarlane stuff, but I'm like, I want Captain America to fucking fight Batman.
Thank you. So I love McFarlane made a lot of good stuff. It also made a lot of crap, but like they were pumping out so much stuff, it didn't matter.
Yeah,
but it was just the scale. I was like, I'm not getting behind a 7-inch line of figure. Like I'm just not.
You cannot.
And I'm obsessed. I love DC. I probably would have bought every single. If those were 6-inch, I'd own every single one of them. So I'm a lunatic like that. So now I bought some of those Mattel ones for my son, like the core line they're calling it, I think.
Yeah.
But kids, but they're 6 inches. They're like Marvel Legend size.
And they said those head sculpts will work on.
They're really good, man.
I know, they're amazing.
So I bought them all 4, but I'm holding Batman and Joker for his birthday. But I let him open Robin and Flash, so I've messed around with them, and they're pretty solid. Like articulation's great, the sculpts are good, and like cloth cut tons of weapons and they're $12.
Yeah,
but so if that line is any indication of what they're gonna do for like the collector line that's coming out next year after McFarlane's officially done, I'm in for a lot probably.
So Cypher63 says, I think if they do the collector line like Masterverse, they will be fine. No, they're going to be like Chronicles. They're going to be smaller with better. That's everything. That's the rumor that everyone is saying.
I think that's why they made Chronicles slightly smaller. Because I think they're going to go and like, well, let's make everything 6-inch so it all jives.
And that's why, like, on the Chronicle box, it shows, like, with the super articulated. I'm like, that figure can't get in that pose. You should probably remove it. I'm sorry, that pose on the Scareglow and all their Chronicle figures, I'm like, they can't do that pose. So you should just fucking remove it. I understand what you're trying to say. You can't
Okay.
do that pose, so don't have it up there. But I don't have an issue. I know some people do. I don't have an issue mixing an O-ring figure with a modern 4-inch figure. It's
No,
fine.
no, not
Right?
at
I
all.
have them on my aircraft carrier. I have them in my Terradrome. Right? That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
You cannot mix a 6-inch figure with a 7-inch figure.
Yeah.
It does not work.
If Captain America is 6 inches and Batman is 7 inches, it just doesn't work. It just looks so. Or Robin is like 6 inches because Batman's 7 inches. Then Robin's standing next to Captain America and he's the same height.
But the
That's
problem is,
where I'm like,
the problem is Robin is actually like 7.25 inches,
right?
and Batman is 7 inches because
Yeah.
McFarlane can't scale his own fucking universe.
Thank you. So there's that too. But that being said, if Mattel does anything close to what they did with this core line for little kids, that's for like a collector, like a $30 price point, or hopefully more like $24 price point for like DC, like motherfucker, like I'm gonna be
It.
I'm gonna be so in.
So I've always been a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
But Batman is still my favorite hero. He's not even a superhero. He's my favorite hero.
Mm-hmm.
And again, G.I. Joe is obviously, that's my favorite line. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to Skeletron, Big Bad Toy Store, like all that stuff mixes in there. Now you can mix some legend stuff, and I really do enjoy now, and this is not something I could have done as a kid. I enjoy taking pictures with G.I. Joe and a Marvel Legend, right? Yeah. Or G.I. Joe with an AWOC. Like I like mixing and matching now. Now they're not really gonna live on the same shelves together, like if I have them, placed together. But I want Batman fighting Captain America, or back to back fighting other guys.
Period. That's all it is.
You cannot do that with McFarlane because Batman is giant, and it's like fucking Avatar, right? Like the humans looking at those whatever those aliens are, and you're like,
also not for nothing, but like the McFarlane joint, like the ankle and wrist joint, those giant ball wrists that they have, like and ankles. I'm like, there's something about
this articulation.
The very first Batman that McFarlane showed off, and it was like that weird cut of like the chest cut with like kind of zigzagged up and around his muscles, and I was like, what the fuck? And it wasn't like horrible or anything, but I already knew. I was like, well, it's a 7-inch line, I'm not gonna buy it. So I wasn't like mad about it or anything, but I was just like, what are you doing there? And granted, it got better over time, but that initial Batman, I was just like, oh, that looks horrible.
Yeah, Joe fan, Batman versus Storm Shadow, except for Storm Shadow is a good guy, so why would they fight?
Well, classic good guys, they always fight, and they're like, oh, we're supposed to be friends, and then they stop fighting.
Okay, let me ask you this. Storm Shadow, is he G.I. Joe or Cobra?
In my brain, it's G.I. Joe.
Thank you.
I love him as a Cobra. I love that costume more.
Yes.
But I do. I really love Storm Shadow's version too, like with the blocky.
I
love it. Are you kidding? I loved it. But it might have just been the sleeve reveal of the tattoo. I think that's a big part of it for me.
No, that digital camouflage, which we didn't know really what it was, looks so cool. The compound bow. Yeah. But Storm Shadow was like your classic ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess in my brain, I'm like, well, he eventually goes to G.I. Joe, so that's where he's at currently.
Even the most famous popular covers with Storm Shadow in his Cobra uniform, he is with Snake Eyes, not fighting.
Yeah.
So again, he is.
I love the Storm Shadow versus Spirit kind of like thing they had in the cartoon for some reason. I love it to death. Like they're a weird like back and forth in the show itself. I loved, but again, it was always like a respect thing. It's like we're not like, oh well, we'll stop fighting for as long as it takes us to survive this volcano or whatever, and then like after we're done, we'll fight for a second, but then we'll like respectfully bow to each other and then go our separate ways. I loved that little stuff. But like in terms of the comic book, like Storm Shadow is barely a Cobra. Like he's there for like because he thinks he's supposed to be there, and then he realizes he's not, and he leaves. Like it seems like it's a very brief period of time.
it's new iterations. It seems that where he, because people are like, it's funny. Like I've seen newer collectors that are like, oh, Hasbro doesn't know what they're doing. This GI Joe team, making Storm Shadow GI Joe, and people are like, dude, really? Like, have you ever read the comic? Because you might like the cartoon and maybe you grew up on the cartoon, but to me, Larry Hama is the George Lucas of GI Joe.
Yeah.
He wrote everything. He created the Real American Hero line. Now, that's not what Classified is. That's not what Renegades is. That's not what the 60s line is. But the Real American Hero is not the Sunbow. I'm sorry. It's not. The Sunbow is loosely based on what...
I agree with that completely. Yeah.
And you can like it more, and that's fine and dandy and everything.
I loved the cartoon when I was a kid, and I still kind of like, I kind of like was like putting it off to the side. Like I have my laptop over here and a main monitor and stuff. Like so when I'm working, I'll like have YouTube on and stuff. And then I was like, oh, I'll watch 24 hours of GI Joe cartoons live or something. I just put that on while I'm working or whatever. And my son would come in and be like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's G.I. Joe. And he'd be like, you got that guy. He's right there. It's barbecue. And I was like, that is. Yeah, that's right. And then he'll never really pull stuff off the shelves behind me or whatever. But to me, the main story is always the comic. Like, I love the cartoon. It's something that I kind of enjoy sort of half watching when I'm even now. But it's not something where I'm like, that's canon. That's the story. That's I just go that's a fun version of it. But the comic is the story.
Yeah, and if I watch the cartoon, what I'm going to like about the cartoon is that it brings back some childhood memories of watching it. But most of the episodes, they're pretty bad. Then there's some really good ones.
Like Thundercats or Voltron, though. G.I. Joe holds up okay.
I never watched Voltron, so I can't speak on that.
Don't try now.
I have a hard time remembering. It's like if I watched Thundercats, I would remember. So Thundercats and He-Man.
It's pretty bad, but it's it's watchable in the sense of well, my kid's here, so I'm gonna let him watch this cartoon. But it's not great.
All right, so I introduce my kids to watching stuff, especially when they're younger. So Olivia and we're watching 90210 right now. We watched Buffy and Angel. We watched this type of stuff. But I would try and get them to watch cartoons. And they watched some of the Transformers and some of the G.I. Joe. And I remember I sat them down to watch Master Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched one episode, and my son goes, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm not watching that. And I just remember thinking, I'm not even going to fight you on this. It was watching Master of the Universe. It is a hard watch. It's easy for us because we grew up on it and we can laugh at it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was so bad.
I haven't tried to get there yet.
I have no. I think they go on pre-order before the end of the year. Now, when will they come out? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Probably, of course, next year, but who knows when?
No. Okay, so Matthew says G.I. Joe has the best episodes of the early '80s cartoon shows.
I mean, I agree. There's some pretty solid stuff in there.
I think the Transformers are better.
In fairness, I haven't gone back and watched old Transformers. I tried to get my son to watch, to watch the old Transformers show because he loves the movie so much, and we watched. Literally, he watched the intro, Lawrence, and he went, "This song's not right. I don't want to watch," because it wasn't the hair metal band going Transformer. It was just the regular intro.
Oh, it didn't even dawn on me because I don't. But the G.I. Joe one is different. Yeah. No, Matthew's right. Yeah, He-Man 200X is way better than the 83.
Oh,
right?
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I mean, the 80s, it's just
the 80s He-Man is atrocious. I mean, Thundercats is watchable. Voltron and He-Man are horrible. I can't G.I. Joe is watchable. Especially specific storylines, even maybe not episode to episode, but the Serpentor storyline, like the Mass Device storyline. Like there's some really solid.
So
Joe
it's
stuff
like
you can
again,
watch.
I am not a big. I mean, I love the cartoon growing up, but I don't really care. Like, I don't think of that as the lore. But I
Yeah,
mix and match the figures. I don't care. Like, it's funny how many people are like, Hasbro never made any of the cartoon characters in the 80s and doesn't make any sense because that's what it was made after. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Like, it was
Yeah.
nothing to do with the cartoon. I don't understand how you even come to. I can understand as a kid how you came to that conclusion, but as an adult with this thing called Google.
Yeah. But if you read the file card, even
Yes,
it's more. The characters on the file cards don't even match the characters in the show sometimes. Like they're just not the same,
because they literally give you ranks.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
So it bothered me why Duke was in charge, and I'm like, he's talking to like multiple officers. Like,
well,
they outrank him.
The only way I reasoned that out was like because it's such a weird special unit that like it had nothing to do with his rank, and it was more about like his ability as a leader. I guess I don't even know. Like it
bothered me. And I think it bothered me because I read the file cards, and I'm like,
what rank was Duke? I mean, he's like, I know he's
he was either an E8 or an E9.
I think it was E9, but maybe I'm wrong. But even still, you're just like, okay, well, you're E9, but like,
and
Lieutenant Falcon should be telling you what to do. You know what I mean, kind of thing in the movie. Like kind of, or at the very least, arguing with you because you're equals. You're just unenlisted, or whatever.
Because I remember Gung Ho was E7, but I was like Gung Ho more, so I'm like, no, he needs to be at least the same rank as Duke.
All right.
So in my mind, he became an E9. So yeah, Ed said he was an E9 first sergeant. But no, I always looked at that and it bothered me. Mm-hmm. Especially like they give Ace orders. I'm like, Ace is a fucking captain.
Yeah, but he's a captain because he's a pilot. That's a little different. Not a captain in charge of.
Well, remember, Ace was also
a company of soldiers.
Ace was also a captain in the Air Force, but was flying a Navy plane.
Fair.
It's something like no one.
Fair, Lawrence.
No one really noticed that.
No.
Figure Freak says exactly. Military rank had nothing to do with the leadership of G.I. Joe. It was all about firsties and nepotism. That's right.
I mean, kind
of. Okay, so Matthew says
like they definitely followed the rank to an extent, but I think it was more like this is a special unit, and Duke's in charge. Period, or whatever you want to call it.
So, Ed, do not get mad, but I believe that Matthew is right, that Duke was an E8, but I think eventually on the file cards, they made him an E9.
At E8, but I think he was an E9.
Yeah.
I've always he was first sergeant, so I agree with him. So.
Yeah, and I think eventually his file card said E9, like further down.
You know what? I think I read those file cards enough to remember that actually happening and going, oh.
Because he was only one rank above Gung Ho, which was an E7.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it bothered me. So those are the lines that you're really into.
Yeah.
But you do think that you're going to go down a rabbit hole with DC?
Oh, more than likely. I mean, I'm waiting to see what they do, and we'll see how it looks. And maybe I'll buy a few and I'll be like, never mind, I'll just buy the characters I really want or something like that. But like most likely I'm in for a deep hole on that one.
All right. So Ed says Matthew might be right, but I never had an E8 first sergeant. So
well, also isn't Beachhead a first sergeant? I swear he is. Maybe
Beachhead is an E5.
He's an E5? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's an E5, which really bothered me, which meant he's the same rank as Stalker. Mm-hmm. And if anyone should have been an E8 or higher, it should have been Stalker. Not only because he was from Detroit, but he was just a badass.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like, when their file cards come out versus like, where they would be in reality? Like Stalker's introduced early, it's a Z5, but then like a million years later, Beachhead's introduced, it's a Z5. Like in theory, Stalker's not an E5 anymore at that point, like
But Stalker's following file cards would have said something, and we didn't think like that.
Yeah,
We didn't think like that. You just had the
Great.
file card that you got from an old friend that no longer wanted it, or a garage sale.
Mhm.
But when you look at General Hawk, he was an 06 a colonel, and then he was an 08 later on.
Yeah. So he went. He got promoted.
Yeah, he also dyed his hair, changed his hair color.
Maybe he stopped dyeing his hair.
Maybe
when he was young, he dyed his hair blonde. He was like, I should stop this. This is dumb.
All right, so let me ask you this about the DC line.
Yeah.
You said more than likely you're going to be in on it. So my question is, do you kind of hope for your wallet that it sucks? So you don't feel like do you kind of hope you look at it and go, dude, that looks like fucking McFarlane?
So I also don't need a mountain of them. I might, man, I don't know. It scares me for how good they might be. That's all. If they're not that, if they're like mediocre or like I'm like, okay, I can hold back on this. I'll just get the character. I might be doing what I do with Marvel Legends and just get the character.
If they're the same scale as Marvel Legends and the same quality as Marvel Legends, are you going to be in on them?
Probably.
Okay. So all I have to say with that is you go, well, I probably won't go complete on them, but let's be honest. Batman, Robin, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern,
basically any
Hal Jordan and John Stewart, right? So there's that.
Yeah.
All right. There's already 6 that I'm.
Oh, it's gonna be bad. Yeah.
Even
if I go like conservative with how much I get, I'll still get a ton of them. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way.
I also I'm a big fan of like some deep cut like DC characters. That being said, like I don't know, like is Mattel gonna do like McFarlane and go fucking crazy? Like I don't know. Like
all right, so
maybe it'll be a little like more reserved and not.
All right, so we've talked about that, and Matthew, my moderator, said, there's no way that DC is going to go nearly as deep as McFarlane.
Yeah,
and you would want to. On the top, you want to say you're absolutely right.
And they went crazy with it.
What?
DC Universe Classics is all Mattel, so like they went crazy with it before. Like I don't understand why they wouldn't again.
But look at Masters of the Universe. They have gone really deep with that stuff.
That's really crazy.
So, and the 6-inch figures, they've already started jokerizing shit. So, like they gave you 3 or 4 jokerized heads already. So why would you think that? Why would so if I'm put in charge of DC at Mattel, and you have over a year to look at it. First off, I'm looking at the scale of McFarlane and Marvel Legends, and I'm going, all right. If we go scale of Marvel Legends, it means all these people that have been collecting McFarlane aren't going to say, "Well, I already have that version of it. It may not be as good, but I don't need to get it." They're saying, "All right, now it's a new scale. This is the only way I'm getting new figures." You're also going to have the Marvel people that like Marvel more, but hey, I like Batman, I like Superman. I want them to mix together, and I don't want to have to buy a Mezco or some of these other figures. And yes, to the guy who got all pissy with me when I was on with Sam, and I said that there are no 6-inch Mattel figures. Yes, I know there are some that you can get, and you can go on Temu and get stuff like that. But I'm talking about just regular DC characters. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we can get that I didn't mention, but the base DC figures have been 7-inch. So you have all of those people that you can grab also. So if I'm the Mattel people that are running DC, I'm looking at both of those things going, I need these to match with Marvel, with Marvel Legends, because there will be people that specifically buy these figures now
Mhm.
to battle those or to mix and match with them.
I wonder. I wonder how many. I wonder how many people are like me and literally held back on getting almost any. Like I don't have zero McFarlanes. I have like a handful, like 5 or 6, and most of them were like random gifts. Like people would be like, "Well, I know he loves Batman, so here's a toy," or something like that. But like, I wonder how many people are like me that like literally have been just waiting for DC to go back down to 6-inch and to like, because again, I'm gonna try to hold back, and I might get half of them. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So it's like.
Yeah, and last
There's
week,
got to be at least a percentage of people that are just been waiting for a toy line for DC to match Marvel Legends. Exactly.
I'm
So
one.
and maybe hopefully those people didn't waste a ton of money buying McFarlane for the last 5 years or
But-
whatever. But
Think about it, it's not just Marvel Legends. It's
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Classified,
yeah, they're
right?
classified. It's fucking
All the
everything.
Operation Monster Force.
Yeah.
And now there's all these like henchmen, like
Black Series, and like even if it's Star Wars, it's like
yeah.
like I said, I think it's very telling that Mattel dropped He-Man down to that scale for the movie.
I agree 100%. And
Yeah.
and like their super articulation, whatever they put on the box,
Mhm.
they say nothing about it being Master of the Universe,
Yeah.
right? They're just saying, hey, this is our 6-inch,
This is
line.
This is how we do articulation
Yeah.
at this scale. Yeah.
But we can't do this pose that we're showing you.
Shh, don't
It really bothers me.
talk about that. No.
But again, if I'm the marketing people, and I feel like this is exactly how they looked at it. I think they looked at it right away and they go, wow. But the other thing that they need to be looking at is saying, look at all the stuff that McFarlane's done, all these obscure characters,
Uh-huh.
and saying, how well did they do? Because you still hear people that are saying, like, we're not going to get this type of character when Mattel takes it over. Well,
Mhm.
I look at what they've done with Master of the Universe, and I'm like, they went deep on purpose. They started giving you like mini comic characters, like so why wouldn't you do that with DC, which is a bigger property?
I think, I mean, and everyone complains about it, but everyone kept buying it apparently. But like McFarlane made so many fucking Batmans that like it's not even.
Wait, he did?
So that's people buy
I had a
Batman.
hard time finding even one.
Batman money he constantly had coming in probably afforded him the ability to make fucking Jack Knight Starman, or like people that only like I want, like there's like 10 people that care about that book. Or
Did you see he's dropping 4 Green Lanterns?
Yeah. Dude, he's, by the way, like I was expecting that to like peter off halfway through the year, and it feels like he's just like
He's like, how many can I make?
Yeah. How many can I make in 6 months? And it's a lot, apparently.
It almost feels like he's like, I'm gonna make so many of these. By December, they're gonna be like, why don't you just keep the line? They're not letting you keep it, dude. Like they're taking it from you. Yeah. You're gonna be like a kid screaming when they're yanking it away, or maybe like a kid that wants a story set.
I thought it was interesting at Comic-Con that like how much Spawn and other stuff he had out to like see, because obviously he's like, well, I gotta shift, so
yeah. But he doesn't seem like, I mean, he's doing Hell Divers now.
Mm-hmm.
But you would think like, all right, why don't I start putting more of my Spawn out? You can't rip that away from him. It's literally his property. More of the Image. Now you see he's starting to do the Image stuff.
Yeah, the Image stuff is good. Like do that. Like that's your wheelhouse.
But he seems to, all those seem to be at a higher price point.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that either.
And that Savage Dragon looks really cool.
That was another thing with McFarlane too, to his credit. Like while he was, for those first, I would say 2-3 years, like as he was pumping those figures out, he kept that price point fucking down. And I think that was a big draw to that line.
Because that allowed
because it was so cheap.
Yeah, that allowed kids seeing a Batman or Superman.
Yeah. And the parent goes,
"Oh, it's a Batman."
Like it's not that bad.
You said he did Batman. I don't know. I've never seen a McFarlane
I mean,
Batman.
he's only made like 2 or 3, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of Batmans. 2 or 3 Batmans is a lot.
Like he made like 2 or 3 a week.
How many Batmans did he make? Like 100?
Oh, I would love to. It's got to be over. It's got to be over.
So high.
It has to be over 100.
Is it? Oh, you think it's over 100?
There's no way that it's not. I think Monday I talked about
it's probably
4
you're
different
right.
Batman.
Like is it over 150 though? It's between 100 and 150, right? It's in that range.
Holy shit, he's really
It's well over 100. There's no way that it's not.
You're right.
I mean, when I started doing the show, McFarlane was already going.
Making Toy, he made like, you're right. He made like 15, at least 15 Batmans that year.
Oh, dude! Like I guess I think there was 4 that I talked about this week. Now,
well, yeah. The
some are
repaints.
repaints.
So, yeah, did the repaints count? I don't know.
Well, they have to.
If you're counting repaints, then easily over 100.
Well, you have to count repaints because wouldn't you count like?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I mean, you count Bazooka and
Also, these repaints aren't just like it's a different color. It's like it's a full-on different version of Batman, just a different.
Yeah, like if you want to do like from the vault where he's bringing the same. Okay, that's same Batman, right? He's just letting he's like, I need to get as much out of this as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Figure Freak says at least 25% of the DC universe had to have been Batman. Not at the end, but for a while. I don't think I'm going to disagree.
I hope Mattel does a couple of things. I want them to make, one, if the articulation on those core figures is anything, and if their articulation is like He-Man, they're going to crush that. So I'm not worried about that. But I want cloth capes. I hate fucking giant sheets of plastic hanging off the back of my characters. I can't stand it. That's why I love Mezco, because it's like cloth goods covered on top of the character. So like, and I know that's to the point of insanity, but I want cloth capes. I hate the fucking sheets of plastic. And then I want accessories and stuff. Like I want them to like come with shit, That's
probably my biggest gripe when it comes to Marvel Legends.
Yeah,
stop with the fucking plastic.
Like shitty with accessories. It's
just,
and we're spoiled with G.I. Joe because Hasbro owns G.I. Joe, and they just were like, here's a shit ton of stuff, and we're like, look at all the stuff that comes in. So like, and I get it, it's licensed, but like, man, give us some fucking batarangs in there,
But we're seeing we're seeing some of the Marvel Legends have soft goods, so we know they can do it.
Yeah.
With G.I. Joe, there's not a lot of capes, right? There's not a lot of capes and stuff like that.
No.
The only one in G.I. Joe that did it was Prophet Director Destro, and that was early on. Like, they probably didn't have the budget to do it.
I heard that new Triple T Slaughter was supposed to come with like a cloth goods, like a jacket, like a leather jacket kind of thing, and that they scrapped that for cost. And I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I heard the USA got costed out.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, supposedly they wanted to do the USA version, and that got costed out because the Triple T is pretty much all new tooling, other than the guns. The guns and the missiles, I think, are the only thing that aren't new tooling.
Yeah.
So
it was just a full plastic track, and then like they were like, no, that's a track that moves just like the History.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Okay. So like it looks good.
I think it looks really good too. And I never really cared for the Triple T, to be 100%.
I'm not a huge Triple T fan either, but I'm just like, I'm getting it.
Putting the canopy on it changes everything. Because it makes you not a complete sniper's dream.
I like that they were like saying like, you can take it off, calm down. But I love that it's there, because if it wasn't there, I'd be like,
I like BMAC because he's so passive aggressive about the shit, which Emily would never have been, and Lenny isn't that type of person. But BMAC was like, with everything so far. All right, let's just get it out of the way. Yes, the crown does come off.
Yeah,
I mean, you literally saw Lenny playing
with us about the crown. It's gonna come off. Yeah.
So Matthew says it was a winter jacket that got costed out. Now, I didn't hear Chris say that. I did hear him say that the USA got costed out.
I
but
assumed it
didn't
was
hear
a
about the winter
bomber,
jacket.
bomber jacket kind of thing.
He
Then
doesn't need one. Now he has a canopy. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, you're right. He's got AC and heating in there. He's fine.
He's good now. All right. Now,
Yeah.
before they put the canopy on, yeah, he needed a jacket.
Riding around in the desert with no top.
All right. So, your YouTube channel, the YouTube show that you guys do.
Yeah.
What is it that you guys do, and what are you guys trying to do with it?
What is it that we do? I don't know. We kind of, It started off as like just a podcast to like talk about toys, so me and Dom could talk, And then I think one of the more fun things we do is we try to get like a lot of Kickstarters on, and we talk to people like that or like trying to make stuff on their own. Those are always fun conversations, whether or not like, even if it's something that like I'm not into per se, or he's not into per se, or something like that. That's some of the funner episodes when we just chat about like somebody that's intensely like interested in what they're creating and stuff, and we get to talk to them on that level. I find those conversations really rewarding. We always kind of talk about news, but it's in the strain of what we want, sort of thing, because we call it news-ish, but it's always just like, well, these invisible toys are coming out or whatever, like kind of thing. Or Dom's really into the Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, and that kind of stuff. So like we talk about those a lot. But yeah,
I think a new segment is really.
If we have a guest on, it's like we're hanging out with you and we just talk, And then if it's a regular show and it's just me and Dom, we're just like talking about the news and we show the toys we bought that week, and then we usually have a topic of conversation for the night, but kind of like that, like a talk show.
You guys made me laugh. Like the first time, like you do the news segment, and then you guys both come back with stupid hats,
Wearing their hats.
which I wasn't expecting. Like,
yeah. What's the news?
Yeah.
News Come on.
So quickly, I want to answer this. Matthew says, "How does a paint deco get costed out?" Because as you've always heard, because anytime paint hits, it costs money. And Matthew, if you actually went to Joe Fest, you could have listened to Lenny talk about this.
Come on.
You would be surprised what Hasbro will tell you, dude, this is your budget. Yeah. So you either remove something, and he said, so there's deco that would get taken off because they would put you over budget. And you're like, all right, do I want it to have this?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want it to have that?
Yeah.
And it was very frustrating.
You can hear, if you go back to like past, like live stream, or not even live streams with the pre-record or whatever, like past interviews or when they're talking about toys with Lenny, you can hear when he's like excited about something, when he's like, oh, and we got to add like the arm hair on, and I love it, and it's so cool, blah, blah, blah. You can tell he's excited because he got to fit it into the budget. It's not because it's fucking mind-blowing to have arm hair put onto like Outback or whatever. He's excited because it fit in the fucking budget and he got to make the figure he wanted to make. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and that's exactly
his voice,
And when you hear these people online and they're like, it doesn't cost that much, and Hasbro has all this money, I'm like, yeah, but there's a budget for each brand.
Yeah.
So, and when here's your budget for the year, there is a reason why they are doing repaints of specific figures. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, I could fit 2 of these figures in here, or do this 1 new figure, or put these 2 figures in. It adds to the line. It adds to our budget because people are going to buy it. Different things like that. Like he was like, he explained a lot of things, and I wish everyone could have heard it, because when people, get in my chat and they're like, you're just a show. And like, I'm trying to explain to you how corporations work.
I mean, look, you are a show though.
I know. I'm a total fucking show.
Everyone knows it.
I know.
It's written all over your face, everywhere that comes out of your mouth.
I know, it's bad.
Anyway, but aside from that, go ahead.
It's just, again, it's how corporations work. Yeah, when you hear people, and I say this, I bring this one up all the time. When you hear people complaining how or they're complaining, or they're saying, for as much money as we spend on this, every figure should be completely new. Again, Hasbro does not make $28 from each figure.
Well,
Remember,
the reason we have so many figures is because they don't retool everything every time.
yeah, but go
Like,
buy a car.
Like Lenny's been ever. I think it's more prominent since he left Hasbro. But like,
Yes,
he's throwing his drawings out, like his designs on IG and stuff. But like this right off the top of my head, he showed the Psych Out rendering, or like what the new tooling that had to go into make Psych Out, and it was basically like Outback's body. So the most of the figure was like light gray, and then the parts that he added on to make it Psych Out were in like black ink per se.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's an overlay, it's a new head, and the weapons. Like the rest of the body was like Outback's body essentially, or Lieutenant Falcon, or whatever you want to call it. But like most of that outfit or that body has already been made, and he's like, well, I can make Psych Out if I just do boop boop boop, and now it's Psych Out, kind of thing. And that's how we get Psych Out. It's not because they went, you have X amount of dollars to spend all year long. Instead of making 10 figures, they're going to make 20 because they can reuse that body to make Psych Out by just doing a head and some overlay. That's how we get all these figures. And I think that's the part that I feel like people are like, oh, it's just a repaint and blah blah blah. And you're like, but that's how they make their money back. So now we can get more figures because they use that body 3 or 4 times, kind of thing.
Yeah, and
it's part of the business that I feel like people don't.
No, and they don't. And I've said, go to a Chrysler dealership. Go look at every fucking car and see how much stuff is reused from vehicle to vehicle.
You can look at the Honda Accord and look at
well, do you get in a Dodge Ram? I'm sorry, not Dodge. It is Rams now. And if the Ram has the same, the same radio and infotainment system as the Charger, do you go, wow, have you seen the sticker price on this? This should all be new.
You're like, no, that's how they can sell to you for the price that it's at.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that Hasbro shouldn't lower their fucking prices because
and again, this will never be me saying I agree with the prices. I'm saying I understand where a corporation is coming from. And when someone complains about reuse, and if they really get into it about classified, and they're like, no other company does this, and you're like, have you looked at fucking Motu? Have you ever looked at a He-Man figure?
Every single one of them is reuse. The whole line is based on reuse. Anyway, but I like classified reuse because I want my character, even if it's a different deco or a paint job, I like when their shirts look the same because it's a military outfit. So I'm like, well, yes, he's wearing different camouflage, but it's the same kind of shirt that guy's wearing. So that's what makes it feel more like military and uniforms, even though it's G.I. Joe and they're all different.
So this here Figure Freak says the amount of weapons I don't use from classified, they can come with no weapons for a year and add that cost to paint sculpt. I'll tell you this right now. One of the things that he said, Lenny said, he goes, dude, seriously, what would you rather have? More hands or more weapons? I'm going to take more weapons every single day. That is something he specifically said, and he fully does believe, because I agree we should have more hands in classified, but I'm also someone that says, okay,
I don't
listen,
want hands.
When I used to collect Valiverse, I'm like, I don't need that many hands. Operation Monster Force, I don't need that many hands. Skeleton, I
got a bucket of hands. I don't need them. Like I put the hands on that hold weapons, and I'm done.
But you know what I do need from Marvel Legends? I need a hand that can hold shit. I don't need just punchy hands and a weird no. Like give me a hand that can actually hold something.
I understand, I'm kind of torn on the trigger finger versus like a C grip hand. But like, I mean, I'd rather have a C grip than a trigger finger, but like, because then you could pretend it's a fist. Like it's easy to break your brain and like, well, he's punching, but his hands could still fit a gun or a knife in it. But when it's a fist, you're just like, oh, just like anything. Classified specifically, but just anything in general.
Oh no, you need a trigger finger for.
Well, I don't mind the trigger finger. I'm not saying like if it's just trigger fingers, I'm fine. Is my point. Like, I don't need it, but like, a closed fist or something, like pointless. I guess every once in a million years, if it's like quick kick or snake eyes and you throw a karate
That's
chop
it.
in,
Storm
like,
Shadow, quick kicks,
Yeah,
snake.
sure.
They need fists. Okay,
Yeah.
I think Duke coming with it. Okay, but I don't need a whole bunch.
Matthew specifically mentioned deco hits though, and I'm like, do I want one less pistol or do I want more camo on the character? Like, it depends on I guess it depends on what I'm losing. That's what it would be for me. It would really depend on the specific character that I'm missing out on. Like, I don't think the USA printed on Sergeant Slaughter's torn shirt. First of all, it's not the USA Sergeant Slaughter costume, so like, I don't care.
No,
for the triple.
You would actually have a different buck to begin with.
Yeah, you'd want the different buck.
Yeah, because if you can't just put USA on it and say we gave you the USA. People are gonna
that's not the USA Sergeant Slaughter. How dare you, or whatever.
You know. And I'm still mad. Like, how come no one wants the Iraqi sympathizer other than me? That's who he was.
You almost got that with we were this close with that Mercer pack. Like,
Mattel did it. Mattel did it.
What? But that was a wrestling figure.
I know. I'm just saying.
But I don't know. All right, is G.I. Joe Classified ever going to put out an Iraqi sympathizer?
No, but they gave him the beret. That Mercer one they gave him the beret.
They got you close. That's as close as you're gonna get, I think. I really want the Warthog Sergeant Slaughter outfit. That's the one I want. The like tactical vest with the bullets and like.
Yeah,
I want that.
Here's the other thing that people.
But are they making the Warthog, and are they saving him for that?
I've not heard anything of a Warthog. I think that would be a pretty good HasLab.
I think that would be a great HasLab, but like we're not.
If they continue with the HasLab,
yeah.
This is the rumor mill of stuff that I've heard about, like Sergeant Slaughter, is that he has a contract, and there's obviously so many figures he has to do.
We can ask Carrie.
Do you think she's going to be forthcoming about that? No. I mean, let's see. A group of schmuck fucking YouTubers or my dad.
I'm pretty sure Zed and I are pretty good friends with Carrie. No, you're right.
There is a contract with him.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why there's so many figures. There's already 4 Sarge classified figures, and I don't know this for sure, but if you kind of look at the releasing, it looks to me like the O-ring Triple T also went into that contract.
Sure, probably.
So you're looking at there's going to be a USA one eventually.
Of course,
that's probably the most iconic one.
Yeah,
you're going to get the Warthog one.
I honestly, of all the Slaughters come out so far, my favorite's the first one.
It's a good one. Yeah,
that's my favorite so far. Like, I don't need any more, but like I keep getting them. But I'm just like, but that's my one so far.
I can find somewhere.
We're gonna get the USA one. We're gonna we'll probably get a Warthog at some point, but
I think the Warthog is probably the most iconic vehicle that they could do after, let's say, 87, 88.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of iconic vehicles. I mean, I think you'll get some because they were made from the molds of what we had, in the early and mid 80s. But there's nothing that's really iconic. I think the Warthog is like the closest thing to it.
Lawrence, Dream HasLab. What do you want?
The Dream HasLab?
Dream HasLab.
So my Dream HasLab, and I've talked about this before, is a half Terradrome. So,
we're on
and
hear you out. Go ahead.
Hear me out because I've said this before. So, you get a half Terradrome. Also comes with so a whale is what I want, but you said dream.
Yeah, I said Dream HasLab. Your Dream.
This is where I'm going here.
Yeah.
A half Terradrome, right? Which comes with a fire bat. So you can push it against the wall and it has like a backdrop, right? But it's big enough that you can store figures. But if you order 2 of them, it is specifically meant to collapse together. And you'd also have 2 fire bats then. So if you could only get one because of space or money,
Okay.
it can be pushed up against the wall. It can still house everything. But if you buy two, it's specifically meant to go together to make a full.
Yeah.
That would be my dream line.
I am on that exact same page, but I've only broken that down a little further in the sense of like it'd be cool if they sold it in like pizza slices, essentially, and you could
like
buy as many you could buy enough to put a full circle together, or you could buy however much you want. You could put it in a corner instead of against the wall.
That's a made to order.
Okay.
HasLab would be like I said, you need at least a half one. And again, it would be so big that if you push it against the wall, you're still going to leave a huge gap for display.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But if you're some idiot that finds a way to make it your centerpiece of your living room,
I fucking dream of HasLab. We're on the same page, Lawrence.
Yeah. Now the whale is what I want. Like,
yeah.
I will stand by that. I want a whale, and I think the whale is perfect because it can house so many figures and it becomes a display.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
What?
It's a playset and a vehicle.
Yes. The hiss is awesome.
Yeah.
But it holds 3 figures, right? I guess you could hang them on the side. The Rattler holds 2.
Maybe cram a second figure in that undercarriage part, but not really.
Yeah, well, but then you're going to close it. You're not going to see it, so why even have any in there? Right?
So you
can have them hang.
so you can drop that ramp and have 3 guys run out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. I like the Warthog. The Warthog is a feasible HasLab. Everyone talks about the Sky Striker. I want the X30. It's a reasonable size. It could be Rattler sized.
No, so the Conquest would totally be Rattler size. That would make more sense, and I think that would happen before the Sky Striker. Because the Sky Striker, here's what a lot of people don't realize: the Sky Striker in O-ring form is already scaled down.
Yeah, it's enormous.
So
if it was classified scale, it'd be enormous.
So if you've ever listened to Lenny talk about when they started doing vehicles, they were kind of like, "Wow, it's just going to be scaled up the same as the figures."
Yeah.
And this is why I said you can't do that, and he confirmed this. When you put a figure side by side, the O-ring figures didn't have shoulders. They were just like this.
Yeah, they just
classified are big.
Yeah.
You can't wiggle them in the same way that you could with the O-ring. So he's like, it had to be widened. This is one of the reasons why they widened the Snowcat, but also the Vamp and stuff. It has to be widened a little bit more because of how they fit, and it also has to go up. So if you look at a Sky Striker, if you widen the fuselage for the figures, guess what you have to do? You have to elongate it, or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
With that said, I do not need another vehicle that holds 1 or 2 people as big as the Rattler.
Fair enough.
And I love the Rattler.
I love the Rattler.
It is a
beast. But it's
I mean, the Dragonfly, that's flat, so it can sit up against it. Again, give me a whale. It houses so many characters. I think another great one would be the Tactical Battle Platform, because it's already a table. It's literally, it has 4 fucking legs. It's a table.
I really want to see them get into like larger play sets somehow. And I don't know what that looks like. And if that's a HasLab, I guess it's a HasLab. But like, I would love them to keep pumping out like Awe Strikers and that like triple T's like that, and I guess you're gonna get your wish on that. But that kind of like scale. Like I'm fine with that medium scale vehicle. I want more, or give us more shit that can click into the little porta potties we got. Like give us like modular things that can keep building on to the other thing to give us more of a base or of a fortress.
And the other thing that people say about the HasLab for G.I. Joe, and they say, it's supposed to be a dream project, and the Hiss isn't a dream project. Well, the Hiss now is no longer a dream project. Before, when they didn't really know where it was going to go, the Hiss was a dream project, right? Like that. Okay, this is our dream project, because they didn't know how well vehicles were going to do.
And I love it to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so the hydrofoil. I feel like I've exhausted my breath talking about the hydrofoil. You cannot do the hydrofoil
Mm-hmm.
as a HasLab before the whale because G.I. Joe does not have a foil to the hydrofoil that is not the whale.
Mm-hmm.
With the water moccasin coming, and yes, those rumors are true. The water moccasin will eventually come. That is a foil, even though it's smaller than
Yeah, but
smaller
you can get,
than,
because it's smaller, you can buy 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then like when the whale comes out, you were like, I have 1 whale and a bunch of hydrofoils can attack it. I mean, sorry. You know.
But if you
smaller.
give a hydrofoil,
Yeah.
and then you also have the water moccasin, and let's say you do a devilfish, those don't compare to those. You need an actual
How do you feel
foil.
about G.I. Joe not having a tank yet, though? Doesn't bother you? It bothers me.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Really?
Here's a couple
You
reasons.
want anything to go against the his tank? Like, what do we have? Like, we got a bunch of Jeeps and stuff. Like,
Yeah, Dragonfly.
yeah.
No, okay. So here's the thing. As much as I would love to have a Mauler, and yes, a Mauler over a Mobat. I don't
The
care what
Mobat
anyone
is
says.
so boring. I love the Mobat, but it's so boring.
It's the Mauler's 10 times better. I'm
Mauler's
sorry.
better.
It's more than 10 times better. This was one of the things that I said. And Krusty O'Crow, he said the same thing because he has the ramen toys.
Yeah.
When you take off, the ramen toys, turret,
Yeah.
it has all this wonderful displays and everything. But I don't want to put my figures in and then drop that down on and they never see it. I can't do photography with it. You can't really do anything with it. Now, with the Mauler, you do have the 2 open canopies on the front. You could probably do something where the figure would slide down for the machine gun rest. You could do something like that, but it's going to be very large and not going to hold a lot of figures.
Mm-hmm.
Would I buy one? Yes. Would I like to see one? Yeah. Does it bother me I don't have one yet? Not really.
Havoc. Is that more of an iconic G.I. Joe tank in the sense that that's what they drew in the cartoon all the time? Or
I think a Havoc
kind of so silly though.
Well, again, it has a sniper's dream in it. That
I want a canopy. So yeah, go on. Yeah.
The fact that General Hawk is just right on the top, you put your leader right on the top, all right.
And it's also the guns on it, it's not a turret. It's just they can only
shoot straight.
Move the entire tank to shoot.
Cross country, turn to the left so I can
turn a little bit more. Fuck, we missed him again. A little bit more. So if they did a Havoc, I'd want it to be modified excessively from the original design because I'd want it to be something where it could shift the turret.
So I think something like that. Yeah, I would say something like that should be a HasLab. But I think so. I would rather have a Mauler, and again, you could do a Mauler that could also be converted to a Mobat, so you can get reuse out of that tooling.
Oh, that would be brilliant if they did it Mauler / Wolverine / Mobat.
Well, they'll never do that because Ramen Toys has already done it.
Well, I know,
but I do think that it is one of those things where, I think that if they did the Mauler, then they could do a Mobat and just make some modifications, so people are happy. Because first off, they're never going to be happy. I think we all know that. A Lego Star Wars kid says, if Mattel Collector Series makes Batman the same height of Superman, I'm out.
First of all, they're probably going to.
Well, aren't they? I mean, how much taller are
they? They're negligible. It's within inches.
Yeah.
At a 6-inch scale, the difference is a centimeter or 2, kind of it's nothing.
So I have Maximum Thor, which I think is an awesome figure, but he is so big.
Oh, okay.
He's over 7 inches tall.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that.
And he's supposed to be. So when you put him with Captain America, he's just, Captain America's looking up at him, which he's a god. Mm-hmm. But There's some figures that I think are just scaled wrong.
Right.
X-Men 97 Magneto, when you put him next to it, he looks like a child. It's a little messed up.
That's a problem. All right, man.
The figure's so good. I love the figure. And Figure Freak says tank first, then Havoc.
Tank like the cops can be used in other lines. Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, again, you have to be using a military line. So if you're doing that, then you can just order the ramen tank.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm with you with the cops though. Like
Ramen's making a havoc of it. I mean, not a havoc. Sorry, the Mauler. Did you see it at Joe Fest?
yes,
Yeah, it looks awesome. Looks amazing.
yes.
That one I might get. I didn't get the Mobat derivative version they made.
That one is still based after that.
I just saw it so many times, and I was like, I don't really care about a Mobat. I'll just wait till Hasbro makes it, or if they don't, I don't care. But the Mauler, I might get that.
I can't see them not doing it. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I think the most iconic vehicle in the United States military is a tank. Yeah, we might see Humvees more, but I think the most iconic thing is a tank, whether it be a Sherman tank or an Abrams A1. There's lots of different types of tanks, and G.I. Joe's not going to do the same thing. But when you think of Army, you go, oh, fucking tanks.
Yeah.
And eventually they're going to do one, I would assume. But
all right. Well,
after midnight, look at that.
Yeah. My bladder's about to explode. We need to end this.
Well, we can call it a night. Joe, thank you. This was great.
Thanks for having me.
When I had your partner on, he was like this. And then he's like, I gotta go on. Like, all right. I mean, he actually stayed for quite some time, but that's when he was out of town too.
Yeah.
He was out of town because
hang in there when he needs to, Lawrence. You hang in there.
The fucking lieutenant colonel, he better fucking be able to hang in there.
It's been a pleasure.
He outranks Duke and Ace.
Rounds Duke and not quite General Hawk.
I asked him. I remember when I had him on, and he told me he was a lieutenant colonel. I go, there's not a lot of people on a base that are below you. And he was like, well, that's not true when you're at the Pentagon. I go, well, the Pentagon is different, right?
Yeah.
And then he says something to the effect of like, yeah, sometimes I'll be on base and I realize I'm the highest ranking person. I'm like, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
I showed my buddy that I work with what he does and all this stuff. And this guy, it's a Navy guy, right? Retired from the Navy. And he was laughing. I go, what if I told you this guy was a lieutenant colonel? And he just said, he just broke down laughing. But
yeah,
that's what makes him awesome. That's what makes him awesome. And I was glad to have you on. And I'll be 100% honest. I'm so glad that like he asked me to come on. And I remember when Tony's like, yeah, I'm on Toy Domination, and I tune in and I'm like, that's not Dom. Who the fuck is this guy? And I didn't realize like there was like
yeah.
So
I was supposed to be there that night, I think.
Yeah, so I was grateful that he asked me on and we got to meet, and
yeah,
again, so glad that I actually got to hang out at Joe Fest, and
yeah, it was a great time. It was really awesome getting to meet you in person and getting to meet a lot of and Tony and a few other people that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, it's such a good time, and it's such a good, these conventions in general, they're such a good place to meet the people you've cultivated these relationships with.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get to talk to them more than others. Sometimes you realize you may not like someone as much as you might have thought you liked people. Yeah. And sometimes you're like, hey, I like this guy way more than other people.
Yeah, meeting somebody in real life kind of changes that aspect for sure. Yeah.
So Gaz quickly chiming in saying, Dom's a lieutenant colonel like Hannibal of the 18th. Was he a lieutenant colonel?
I have no recollection.
I mean, I know he was Colonel Hannibal Smith, but I don't remember if he was lieutenant colonel. But you know what? Oops, a little shit. I'm gonna take his word for it. But
yeah,
I am going to let you go this time. You need to go to the restroom. I have to wake up in the morning. That doesn't matter. If I ain't going to sleep. Who am I kidding? Anyway, thank you. Tell everyone where they can find Toy Domination.
Toy Domination on Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. You know, come see us. And we live stream on Thursdays usually, and it's like every other week kind of thing. Like, and then Dom makes a bunch of videos to put on there. So go watch Dom's videos. He works really hard on them.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And tune in live when I'm there. You know?
All right, Joe, thank you so much. And everyone, I will see you again tomorrow if you're a channel member, Punk's Pit, and then Monday night Toy Ramblings. Take care.